Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
This is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How, does the FBI find people? And people is misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E.
I object.
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Or she found out?
What more do you need to see?
Welcome back. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Hopefully you had a fantastic lunch. AC guys are here. Again, they live here. We just made a room for them. The chair is stuck. Fighting it. There we go. All right. Wow. All right.
There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to guns.
I want to donate my points to the Bitcoin Retrieval Fund. I mean, I just need to pay a guy. I just need to pay a guy to get my Bitcoin. I don't know how to do it. It's impossible. For those who are fixing their handles, that is awesome. Super excited. Please note, it will probably reset your points. But we just started today, so it's not going to be a huge loss, I don't think. It's going to be able to be just a little bump in the road. So just know resetting your handle will reset your points value a little bit. All right. So when Greeners eventually gets rid of the 8675309, he's going to have to start over. Fix my handle. What do you mean? Well, you are Ivan Victor 715. Thanks to YouTube. YouTube assigned that handle. If you didn't choose one yourself, it just assigned one to you that has numbers on the end of it. If you don't like that, you can choose another one, as long as no one else in the YouTube world has ever chosen it. If anyone else is using it, you can't use it. It has to be unique. It is what we call a primary key in a database. So there are ways to change it. I think our mods can put it in chat if you want the steps to change it. Just know it will reset your points. So whatever points you accrued this morning or right now, they'll go bye-bye. All right, Kelly H. So, did dude see a knife? I had to run and pick up lunch. Yeah. He saw a knife, but not until after he said he's got a knife. I still need him to explain this. I don't know. Megs Uli, welcome to the gallery. I like that username, but I'm not sure if it's Meg Sully or Megs Uli. Maybe it's Megzu Lay. It could be that. Megzu Lay. That's what we're going to call you today, Megzule. I will tell you that for lunch, I had a little bit of everything. I had some ham, just the ham. You know when you buy like lunch meat and you're like, well, I'm too lazy to get the bread out, but I'm just going to eat the lunch meat. I did that with mustard because I'm not like a heathen. I don't just eat it out of the package raw. So mustard and ham, and then I had something else. Then I thought, oh, what goes well with ham and cheese? Well, it's ham. Well, cheese goes well with ham. That's what I thought. So I had some cheese. And then I was rummaging around in the freezer and I found a package of microwavable rice, like fried rice. So then I had that, and I put hot sauce on it. The Sticker Mule brand hot sauce. So good. Mule sauce, what they call it. It's like basically a little bit hotter than Tabasco sauce and better tasting. So, all good there. How did you guys do with lunch? Did you guys, everyone survive? Found something that would do? Let's see, we need this there. Let's go ahead and bring that on, and this way. There we go. I think we're about ready to start our afternoon session. It's a 1:57. We're going to come back at 2 o'clock. We have on the stand right now chicken salad. Ooh, that is so good. That is always good. That's good for like picnics. It's good for breakfast. I used French mustard, unfortunately, not English. Well, it was French brand mustard. It's probably not French at all. But I use bacon as bread. Good substitute. I'm interrogating. Says mule sauce. Yes, it's good. You've tried it. You know. I was having a tough time. I wasn't going to cook because until I get the AC thing sorted out, it's like the stove does not turn on. Microwave's my limit. Found the most delicious cheese at Costco the other day. cheese. Stracciatella or something like that. Stracciatella cheese. Can't find it anymore. You ate it apparently, Camilla. It was the last bit. Nobody knows how to make it anymore. What a weird combination of food. Yes, it's punishing. I started with, a little mustard, had cheese in the middle, and then finished with hot sauce. So my tummy will be like, grr, later on. But can't we just stay with the one YouTube gave us? You can, Barb Russell. This Barb Russell 38 is great. I love it. I like any name that has numbers that are equivalent to a common caliber of firearms, and 38 is one of them, as you know, from the burn pile murder, 38 special. There we go. If you decide to change your handle, please note you will lose your points that you've accrued so far, but it will just accrue on the next name, and then it will stay with that until you change your handle again. But here's the method. Samantha put them in chat. You click profile, you click customize channel, you type the name in the box, and it might work. It's like 50-50. So. All right. Don't say we didn't warn you. Yeah, and if you change it wrong, you could be stuck. Stuck. Chat is not on screen. Oh, fixed it. Then now's a good time to say welcome, Greeners. Welcome, Greeners, who was first in chat today. Congratulations. You not only get sentenced to internet ownership for the second half of the day, but you also get the point bonus. And I'm going to do a quick peek and just see what Greeners is at. If he doesn't want to tell you, I will. Just to see what his status is. This is rude of me to pry into your private life and see your user points. Greeners is showing as third right now. It's number 3. Tied with Lois Cox, I might say. So I guess technically second. Second only to Kelly H., who is at 731 points. Congratulations, Kelly H. You are in the lead. All right. Let's see. Bad storm coming through near PA, New Jersey, Delaware state lines. Ooh, stay safe. For sure. It does show Lois above Greeners, just for the record. Shows her in second place. Big shout out to Devin Daughtry, 3248. Best 8 months ever. Devin, thank you very much. Love it. I love it. Welcome. I think at 9 months you get a new color courthouse, right? Or is it 12? I can't remember anymore. I'm so sorry. Orange happens somewhere in there. It's getting dark in PA. Stay safe. Some of these storms are they're crazy. They're crazy that are happening out there. Thunder booming over here. Y'all are going to crash the chat. It's all right. Before court starts, this is the time to have at it with chat. So once court starts, we get down to business. We focus on the case a little bit better. It would be fun if you figure... Oh, I haven't put this back on. It would be fun if you figure out the gamble option.
In front of the Walmart.
I think it's a different app altogether. Let's see.
Call from Melissa.
Hey, Melissa, this is R.A. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I do not think this kid should be charged as an adult. That's my opinion. I've got to get it out there.
Yeah, lifetime sentence for a 16-year-old crime is a tough one.
It just feels wrong to me, especially with so much no good going on at all these parties and all the drinking involved. And I really feel, this is my opinion only, and it's opinion. I do think he was trying to protect his friend.
I think there's definitely an argument to be made there, and I think we're going to hear it.
they were pretty much beating the crap out of him. And this kid has already gotten the crap beat out of him. So the wrong thing was to go back there and stop. But, I understand. You got a bunch of kids that were drunk. And the male ego is outrageous at that point in time because of the hormones. And I wish they hadn't tried him as an adult. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, Connecticut has that law. 16 to 17-year-olds get charged as adults in this area of crime. So.
Not always. I read up on that this morning. I read up, and it's usually with extenuating circumstances and priors.
Yeah,
or a prior.
In this case, extenuating circumstances is the 3 other stabbings.
Yeah.
So
I get that too. I thought of that too, but I just had to voice my opinion on that.
Well, you're not alone in that concern. It's terrible. So I hear you. I don't
think he's all bad. I don't think he was trying to kill anybody, but that's neither here nor there when it comes to the jury.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you listening to my point of view.
Melissa, I'm optimistic that defense is going to give us a little bit more to help decide this case. I think that's going to happen, and maybe then we'll feel better about a decision that's reached once we have just a little more fuller perspective.
I feel like he has to go on the stand, though. Do you?
I definitely do. There's just
absolutely.
So many question marks about a period of time that happens just off screen, and
I agree.
He's got a vantage point that nobody else had. So
I haven't seen anybody say that, but yeah, I think he's got to go.
Melissa, we're back in court, so I'll let you go. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's have the witness retake the stand.
Yeah, the witness on the stand right now is the brother
Mr. Conway, I want to remind you,
of Thomas Connery.
Yes. You've been in the jury.
Is this Charlie Connery, I think? Is that his name, Charlie? His brother was stabbed in this altercation. It's not Sean. Not Sean.
Counsel, please stipulate to the presence of our jury before we begin.
Defense stipulates, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Smith, Attorney Smith, if you'd like to come up.
Oh, good afternoon again, Mr. Connery.
Good afternoon.
You and I were talking about the car having stopped at the intersection of Laurel Glen Drive and Farmhouse Lane when we left. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
So I want to take us back there, okay? You told us that you observed 2 individuals get out of the car, correct?
Yes.
Only 2 individuals get out of the car?
I'm mistaken. 3 got out of the car.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3 got out of the car?
Yes, Mackenzie Traffic County also got out of the car.
And you said that you and a few of your friends walked down the street to talk to them, correct?
Yes.
And that was Ty Wood, correct?
Yes.
Matthew Lockovich?
Yes.
My fault there. Tyler Rich?
Yes.
Ricky Fiola?
Yes.
Ryan Hines?
No.
Faison Teal?
No.
And you said that Tyler Rich and Ricky Fiola were ahead of you, correct?
Yes.
And that you were walking with Ty Woods, right?
Yes.
And you walked all the way down to where the car was parked at the end of, or at the intersection of Laurel Glen Drive and Farmhouse Lane, right?
Yes, it was a little bit before it. A little before. There, where the group was a little before the intersection.
Okay. But you walked down to where the car had come to a stop.
When I got down there, the car must have drove away or something because it was only them three around there.
Okay. So when you got down there, you couldn't see the car?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So at that point, it was the group of you that had walked down there and just Mackenzie Traficante, Raul Valle, and Tyler Da Silva?
Yes.
Okay. Were they all on the same side of the street?
No.
Where was Mackenzie Traficante?
She was kind of sitting on the curb next to Raul Valle on the side of the street, and then Tyler Silva was on the other side.
On the same side of the street as Tyler Rich's house, or on the opposite side of the street?
Same side.
So Mackenzie Traficante and Raul Valle were on the opposite side of the street? Okay.
That's not what's in the ring video.
How far away were you from Mr. Da Silva?
Almost, like, not face to face, but like good talking distance. Like,
and how far away were you from Mackenzie and Raul?
Almost the whole street across, like, not like about 8 feet, 10 feet.
And at this point, you could not see Jack Snyder's vehicle?
No, I don't remember seeing the vehicle.
And you told us that you witnessed Mr. Fiola talking to Mr. Valle?
Yes.
And he was still standing beside Ms. Traficante at that point?
Yes.
And you said you did not see Tyler Rich interact with Mr. Valle at all, correct?
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't see Mr. Rich spray anything in Mr. Valle's direction?
No, I didn't see that.
And you didn't see anybody except for Mr. Fiola by Mr. Valle?
Yes.
So your recollection is that it was just Mr. Fiola, Mr. Valle, and Ms. Traficante on one side of the street?
Yes.
And therefore, yourself, Ty Wood, Tyler Rich, the three of you, and Matthew Lockovich, I'm sorry, the four of you, were all on the opposite side of the street with Mr. Da Silva?
Not so the completely opposite side of the road, but like more towards that side, like not really close to where Ricky Fiola was.
And you said that the three of you were talking with Mr. Da Silva, correct?
Yes.
You didn't see anyone engage in any fighting?
No.
You didn't see anyone chasing Mr. Snyder's vehicle?
No.
You didn't see anyone throwing anything at Mr. Snyder's vehicle?
No.
You didn't hear anyone uttering any threats towards Mr. Snyder or the group?
No, I didn't hear that.
And you think that it was just yourself, Ty Wood, Michael Lockovich, Tyler Rich, and Ricky Fiola, correct?
Yes.
Just those five. You said you spent 10 seconds with Mr. Da Silva, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Then you turned and you walked back, right?
Yes.
You walked back to 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
Yes.
Did you pass Mr. Rich along the way?
Yes.
Where did you pass Mr. Rich along the way?
Some were walking back with him, farther down the road.
Who else was walking back with him?
Ty Wood, Ricky Fiola, Matt Lockovich.
Did they pass you at some point?
They caught up to us and then walked with us.
Okay. You initially were walking back with Ty Wood and Mr. Lockovich, correct?
Yes.
And then you described all making it back into the basement, right?
Yes.
Was anybody still outside in the yard when you went into the basement?
Yes.
Who was outside in the yard when you went into the basement?
I'm not sure, but people were out there, yeah.
How many people were outside when you went into the basement?
Probably 10.
So then there were 20 people that were down in the basement when you went in there?
Yeah, like 17, 18 people.
You made it all the way into the basement?
Yeah.
Down to the bottom of the stairs?
Yeah.
Where you ran into Taylor Capella talking with Jimmy McGrath?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
You didn't see them at the bottom of the stairs talking?
I could have, but I walked right by and I went into the basement. I didn't stop at the stairs. I went into the basement and was just talking with friends.
Did you see Jimmy McGrath?
Could have. I could have seen him down there. I just don't remember.
You don't remember seeing Jimmy McGrath downstairs, do you?
I don't know. It was a long time ago, so if I walked downstairs and I saw people, I'd Just didn't know who was where. I wasn't paying attention where everyone was. Just people were down there.
You didn't see Taylor Capella downstairs, did you?
It could have been down there, but I don't remember seeing her.
You didn't see Matthew Lockovich downstairs, did you?
He also could have been down there, but when I walked downstairs and I was talking to people, I don't remember who was where, who was doing what, who was outside.
Well, you remember talking to someone downstairs?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't remember talking to someone downstairs?
No. I might have, but I remember if I talked to someone, I remember who I talked to.
Do you remember talking to someone downstairs?
Could have, but to be honest, no.
Did you not make it downstairs?
I did.
You did? You're certain of that?
Yeah.
And then you told us that you heard they were back.
Yes.
You understood that to mean that the vehicle driven by Jack Snyder was back out front, correct?
Yes.
And at this point, you told us that you were by the basement doors slowly creeping up?
Yeah.
What do you mean by slowly creeping up?
Like walking, like I wasn't running out to like where everyone was. I was taking my time there because I didn't think anything was going to happen.
You didn't think anything was going to happen?
No, we told him to leave multiple times. I thought it was just another time we were trying to tell him to leave and they would leave.
And as you were slowly creeping up the stairs, how many people went past you?
Creeping up the stairs?
Yes.
I was already out. I got out of the stairs pretty quick, but when I got outside and I saw people face to face, then I started slowly creeping up.
I see. So you went quickly up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
How many people passed you on the stairs?
No one really passed me. We were all going the same way.
How many people were with you going the same way on the stairs?
Probably about 5 or 6 people.
Just 5 or 6 people?
Yeah.
The others remained in the basement?
Yeah, but eventually they probably followed me.
Well, sir, I don't want you to tell us what probably happened. I want you to tell us what you observed.
Well, I couldn't see behind me, but everyone came outside eventually, so they must have came from behind me.
So eventually everyone was outside?
Yeah.
So there were 30 of you at that point outside?
Yeah, but scattered out, not all together.
And you described to us that you were slowly creeping up and that there were people lined up talking by the bush and the truck, correct? You remember describing that for us?
Yes.
And how many people were there by the bush and the truck?
Around 6 people.
Just 6 people?
Yeah, I remember seeing 4 people that I was friends with, and then Tyler Silva and Raul Valle.
Okay. And the 4 people that you recall seeing were Ty Wood?
Yes.
Tyler Rich?
Yes.
Ryan Hines?
Yes.
And who was the 4th person?
I saw Faison over there a little bit, but he was kind of just in front of me, creeping up too. Like, so the 4th person, I'm not too sure who I saw.
What's with all the creeping?
And you told us that they were just face-to-face talking with Tyler De Silva and Raul Valle.
Yes.
So you did not see the car arrive, correct?
No.
You did not see Mr. Valle and Mr. De Silva approach this group, correct?
Yeah.
But by the time you got outside, you claimed that they were already up by the black truck and the red bush.
Yes.
And it was just Mr. Valle and Mr. De Silva that were talking with these other 5, maybe 6 people now, you've told us.
Raul and De Silva were talking to 4 people. Not 5 or 6 total, including Raul and Tyler.
Okay. So 5 or 6, including Mr. Valle and Mr. De Silva.
Yes.
So only 4 people out there and then the 2 of them.
Yes.
And you said that Mr. Valle was to your right?
To my left.
Before you described it as being Mr. Valle was on the right. Was that as we were looking at the exhibit?
Yes. From my point of view, because it's flipped, it was Mr. Valle on the left and Mr. Silva on the right.
Okay. And they were side by side?
Yes.
And you didn't see anything in their hands, correct?
No.
But you could see their hands?
No, I couldn't. People were blocking me. There's 4 of them. There's 2. So them 4 are blocking my point of view of them.
The 4 of the people talking were blocking your view?
From where their hands are. I can see their faces. I can't see what their bodies do.
You could see over top of the heads of the people that were in front of you to see Mr. Valle and Mr. De Silva's head?
Objection. Mischaracterizes the response room.
When I saw them two, I was able to see who it was, their faces, but I couldn't see where their hands were. If their hands were down there, people's bodies, I couldn't see their hands. That's what I'm saying.
Sir, were these 4 people that were talking to them in front of you?
Yeah.
And yet you could see Mr. Valle and Mr. De Silva, but not their hands.
Yeah.
And you also told us that you were not close enough to hear what was being said, right?
No.
But you've described this group of 6 people as being right there by the black truck and the red bush.
Yes.
And how far back from them were you?
First 20 feet, but then slowly creeping up.
20 feet away, 4 people in front of you, but you can see the 2 people that are in front of them.
Yes, and then eventually became 15 feet, and 10 feet, and then the fight broke out.
In any event, you told us that it seemed less peaceful than when they were talking before.
Yes.
And you said at this point you were back by the AC unit?
A little bit in front of it.
But that there were garage lights that shined right at them.
Yeah.
You said this conversation that was going on lasted 10 to 15 seconds?
Yeah.
And at that point, you told us that Mr. Valle was talking with Ryan Hines and Ty Wood.
Yes.
But you couldn't hear what they were saying.
No.
And that Mr. Rich was talking with Tyler De Silva.
Yes.
But you couldn't hear what they were saying.
No.
And then you told us that you saw Mr. Valle make a movement.
Yes, I did.
At this point, had you moved so that you could see around these 4 people that were talking to them?
No, but I was able to see his body jolting because I was creeping up and getting closer and closer.
I see. You could see his body jolting?
Yeah, like a sudden movement.
A sudden movement? Did he hit someone?
No, he did not.
Was he saying anything?
I'm not aware of.
He was still behind and to the side of Mr. De Silva?
He was behind him. They were next to each other. But
they were standing side by side?
Yes.
They were standing side by side, but facing 2 different groups?
No, the groups were together in the beginning.
So one big group?
And then you did see Mr. Rich punch Mr. Valle, correct?
Yes, sir.
But when you first talked with officers on the 15th, that's not what you told them, right?
Yeah, I didn't tell him that.
No. You told them on the 15th, that same day, that either Mr. De Silva or Mr. Valle pushed the Shelton High kids and the fight started, right?
I was wrong.
That was wrong.
What I said was wrong.
Why, at that time, shortly after the incident, did you tell him something that was wrong, but today you're telling us something different?
Because when he jolted, I thought he made contact with someone from Shelton, but he ended up not, and Tyler Rich stepped in and punched him. And I didn't know that at the time when I was talking to the cops.
So you couldn't see.
And do you remember telling officers that same evening that Mr. Valle was getting beat up?
Yeah, I said that.
And that everyone was on top of each other?
Yeah.
So after Mr. Valle was punched by Mr. Rich, you couldn't see Mr. Valle anymore, correct?
No, I saw groups separating, and people went towards Valle and people went towards De Silva.
Right. And you saw that there were a number of people on top of Mr. Valle, right?
Around 2 to 3 people, because 2 people were on top of him and 1 person was to the side engaging in the fight, not on top of him, standing over him.
Had the people in the basement come out of the basement at this point?
Yeah.
Where were they all?
Around, bystanding, just watching.
Just bystanding and watching? Did you see anybody with their cameras out?
No, I did not.
Did you see any phones out?
No, I did not.
Did you see anybody with lights in their hands?
No, I did not.
And you ran over to where you told us that Ryan Hines and Faison Teal were fighting to the left, right?
Yes.
That was where Mr. Valle was, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that was one of the fights that was going on. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
The second or other fight that was going on to your right at that time.
Yes.
And that involved Mr. Da Silva.
Yes.
How many people were fighting with Mr. Da Silva?
From my point of view, I ran over to the fight where Raul Valle was because my brother went over there, so I wasn't paying attention towards the Silva fight, but I saw people on the side view kind of running over there, and then assuming that people did.
Did you see Mr. McGrath at this point?
No, I did not.
Did you see Mr. Lokovich at this point?
No, I did not.
And you say you ran over there, you got there, and you just stood and watched, correct?
Yes.
At that point, your brother Tommy, Ryan Hines, and Faison Teal were on top of or next to Mr. Valle, right?
Yes.
Then you told us everyone got off and Mr. Valle walked away, right?
Yes.
But you watched the video with us and you would agree that he didn't just get up and walk away, that people were over there involved in some sort of altercation and pushing or shoving him, as you described when watching it, right?
Yes, at first he was able to get up on his own and people weren't approaching him, but when he kept walking towards, more people came in and just pushed him out of the way to just get him away and get him into the road and get him off the property.
Were you one of those people?
No, I wasn't.
Was Jimmy McGrath one of those people?
No, he wasn't.
You said Mr. McGrath was not involved in the fight at all.
He wasn't involved at all.
Okay. Because where was he?
One of the people bystanding.
Just bystanding over. Can you point to us where he was?
Well, at that point, I'm just saying he could have been bystanding. At that point, I didn't know where he was.
You didn't know where he was?
Yeah, I didn't see him over there where people were pushing Raul out.
Okay. Did you see where Matthew Lokovich was?
No, I didn't.
Did you see where Tyler Rich was?
No, I did not.
Did you see where Ryan Hines and Faison Teal went?
No, I did not.
Did you see where your brother Tommy went?
No, I did not.
What were you watching?
Raul Valle.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
And he was by himself?
People went after they pushed him. He was by himself and he walked towards the car, and I was keeping my distance from him, watching him.
And where did the people that had just pushed him into the road go?
Back around to like past to where Tyler Silva was. They went back. Just let him be.
You saw that while you were watching Mr. Valle go to the car?
No, but that's what I found out later. At that time, I didn't know where they went. I just watched Mr. Valle and just kept watching him.
So is it fair to say, sir, that you don't know where those people who had just shoved him out into the road went?
Yeah.
And you don't know who those people were?
No.
So you don't know if Mr. McGrath was involved or not?
I didn't see him over there.
You just told us you weren't looking at what happened with that group.
But when they were pushing him out, I was looking over there and I didn't see who was pushing who. Like I just saw a group of people push him out of the way. I don't know who was who.
Who was in that group of people that was pushing him out?
Not to my knowledge, I don't know. Showing people, definitely.
Kids that you've grown up with and known most of your life, if not all your life?
Some of them maybe. Not all of them I've known my whole life.
One of them your cousin, Will Berardi?
No, not one of them wasn't him.
I'm sorry?
I wouldn't say one of them was him.
Okay. One of them your brother, Tommy Connery?
No.
But you are certain, and you're testifying here today, that Mr. McGrath was not involved in any way?
I didn't see him over there.
And you were telling us that you were watching Mr. Valle as he went back to the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Did you see the vehicle moving?
No.
And you saw him open the door, the interior light go on, close the door, and then you said he goes back into the yard, right?
Yes.
And you didn't see him with a knife?
No, not that moment.
You said he went right after the closest person to him, right?
Yeah.
And that was Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Who else was standing with Mr. McGrath?
Closest person that would be towards Mr. McGrath was Mr. Lockovich.
Who else?
I don't know.
Was it just the two of them?
That's the only two I saw.
It's the only two you saw?
Mm-hmm.
Was there anybody that you saw on the other side of Mr. Valle?
No.
Did you see Jacob Villalobos?
No, I didn't see him.
Did you see Matthew Samperi?
Sorry, Michael?
Michael Samperi. I'm sorry.
No.
Did you see Sal Perry?
No.
Did you see Ryan Hines?
No, I didn't see them.
Did you see Faison Teal?
No, I didn't see him.
Do you recall seeing Mr. Lockovich that evening when Mr. Valle came back onto the lawn, or is that based on what you've seen in the video now?
Oh, I remember seeing him.
You remember seeing Mr. Lockovich that night?
Yeah.
Beside Mr. McGrath?
Yeah, near him.
Near him?
Like the closest one to him.
Close enough to touch him and put his hand on his back?
Mr. Lockovich should touch Jimmy?
Yes.
I'm not aware of.
And what did you see Mr. Lockovich do?
He walked away from Raul and Jimmy and went the other way.
Went the other way?
Yeah, he went towards when Raul came back, he just kind of walked away and wasn't paying attention to where Raul was. Jimmy. He was just there. He was near. When he was walking by, he was just there.
Did you ever see your brother Tommy Connery fighting with Mr. Valle?
Yes.
When your brother Tommy was fighting with Mr. Valle, where were you?
Next to them, behind him.
Behind them?
Yeah.
Who else was near you at that time?
Faison and Hines.
That's it?
Yeah.
Where was Ty Wood?
I don't know.
Mr. Connery, isn't it true that you were with a group of people that had shoved Mr. Valle into the street and that were then walking back and forth between a vehicle that we saw in front of the vehicle that he went to?
Yeah, when the people shoved him into the street, I was there, but I wasn't one of the people that shoved him into the street. I was keeping my distance, following him, walking around, and then saw him go to the car.
Can we see exhibit number 60? Do we still have that?
Here we go. Frame by frame. Get a close up of Mr. Smith there. Now that he's locked down the testimony from this witness, we're going to challenge a couple points here, defense attorney will. As we...
I'm going to ask you to watch. You've got the same thing on your screen as we have on the big screen. Okay? And I'm going to ask the state to pause it at certain points.
Yes, sir!
Stop this. Do you see the camera has now turned towards the street?
Yes.
Do you know who this individual is with the dark pants, the light shoes, and the white top?
Yes.
Who's that?
Alex Zaborak.
Sorry?
Alex Zaborak.
Alex Dvorak?
Zaborak.
Zaborak. Thank you. And who is he to you?
Oh, he's my brother's friend.
That's your brother's friend?
Yeah.
Same grade?
That's my brother, yes.
Okay. So he's one of the older kids that's here at the party?
Yes.
And would you play again? Okay, pause, please. We just saw Mr. Zaborak go in front of the screen, right?
Correct.
Do you remember him being there at that time?
No.
And so you don't know what he was doing at that point?
No, I didn't know where he was.
Did you play again, please? Okay. Do you see yourself coming onto the screen at frame 341?
Yes.
And you would agree you're being followed by someone?
Yeah, someone's behind me.
Who is that?
Joey Romano.
Joey Romano? Joey Romano?
Yeah.
And who's Joey Romano to you?
Another one of my brother's friends.
Okay. Again, one of the older kids?
Mm-hmm.
And where was he coming from?
They're the same place I was coming from.
Do you remember seeing him there that evening?
Yeah, I bet the whole night. Was it
At this time period?
Oh, no.
So you weren't with him?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't walking with him. He was just behind me.
And can we play again, please? And can we pause it? And do you see a third person who's just come on shirtless with a pair of what appear to be blue camouflage shorts?
Yes.
And do you know that person?
Yes, Matthew Lockovich.
That's Matthew Lockovich. And where was he coming from?
Looks like the same area that we were all coming from.
Same area that you were all coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Together?
It could be.
And do you see in between Mr. Romano and Mr. Lockovich another figure with a light top on back there?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Who's that?
It's Jimmy.
This figure here in the middle, sir? That's Jimmy?
Oh, they're looking up to the right. The person in the middle?
Yes.
I can't identify as that. That's not clear enough.
You mentioned, though, Jimmy, right?
Yeah, you see him on the right.
And he's to the right of the frame here?
Yes.
But you don't remember seeing Jimmy over there in that area?
No, I do not.
Boom.
But that's Jimmy there now.
Yes.
Walking back behind you, Mr. Romano, and Mr. Lockovich.
So it looks like, yeah.
And you're all coming, you would agree, from that area where we just saw Mr. Valle get shoved out into the street?
It could be all coming from there, but I don't remember seeing Jimmy with any engagement over there.
Can we play it? And those guys. Can we go back just a hair? Sorry, maybe.
Back a couple frames.
Okay. And do you see in front of Mr. Lockovich another individual with a pair of lighter shorts with maybe some dark black biker shorts popping out and a white shirt?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
Jacob Villalobos.
That's Jacob Villalobos.
Hmm?
And he's shoving Mr. De Silva into the street?
Yes.
And he's now over in that same area where all of you have just come from?
Yeah.
And you still see a couple of other figures behind him, but you can't identify them. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I can't identify them.
And can we play again, please? Oh, sorry, can you stop? And can we go back 2 seconds? I apologize. A little bit more, and right there. Do you see, sir, a figure just in front of what you've identified as Jimmy McGrath?
Yes.
Like light shorts, light shoes, and a shirt with some sort of graphic on the front?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
No, I do not.
That's not your brother, Tommy?
No.
You just have no idea who that person is?
Yeah, no.
What's it? Where were you looking at this time?
Where Raul was.
I'm sorry?
Where Raul was.
Where Mr. Valle was?
Yes.
Okay. And you say he's just stepped onto the grass?
Yes.
And you claim all those people just dropped back that had just been there?
Yes, because I was screaming.
And they just all immediately went back?
They didn't run back, but they were cautious and started stepping back.
Even the folks that were on the other side?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah.
But your focus was on Mr. Valle, but you could see what all these other people were doing?
See out of my view that people were going away, and now I could only see Mr. Valle.
Where was Mr. Lockovich at that point?
Kind of next towards Jimmy.
And where was Mr. Zaborak at that point?
I'm not aware of.
Where was Mr. Romano at that point?
Not aware of.
Where was Mr. Villalobos at that point?
I'm not aware of that.
But you're certain that you saw all these people back up?
Yeah.
Sir, didn't you see these people start to form the same wall they had formed before?
What do you mean by a wall?
Well, you've described before that 4 people were forming a wall and blocking your view at various points.
Yes.
These people didn't just disappear, did they?
No, but they walked backwards, and they walked back, and I was able to see where Mr. Valle was.
So they all just stepped back and gave you a prime view of Mr. Valle and Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
And Mr. Lockovich, where was he at that point?
Stepping back as one of them, but just closer.
Would you press the play, please? And can you pause it, please? Did you just see a hand on Mr. McGrath's back there, down near his waist?
His right hand.
Can we go back maybe 2 seconds? Or, sorry. Let's do it. Can we go just a little bit more? A little bit more? Okay. Do you see what appears to be a hand down on
That's his own hand.
side there?
Yes.
No, it can't be his own hand.
Mr. Lockovich is gone at this point?
He could be over there, but I didn't see him. I was just looking at Jimmy. And I was looking at Raul, and Jimmy was in my sight.
Okay. You're looking at Mr. Valle at that point?
Yes.
There's nobody blocking your view.
No, I was able to see him.
So you don't know whose hand that was?
No, I do not.
And where was Mr. Lockovich?
Backing up.
And where was Mr. Zborek?
Also backing up. I don't know where he was.
Where was Mr. Romano?
I don't know where he was.
And where was Mr. Villalobos?
I don't know where he was.
And what about that person you couldn't identify before who had on the light shorts and the dark top with the white graphic across the front?
I don't know.
And what about Faison?
Don't know where he is.
Did you see Mr. Valle slip at all as he came onto the grass?
No, I did not.
You saw him just go straight at Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Do you remember it being misty or rainy that evening?
No, I do not.
Did you see Mr. Lockovich take a swing at Mr. Valle?
No, I did not.
But you don't know where Mr. Lockovich was or what he was doing at that point?
Yeah, so if I was looking at Mr. Valle, I didn't see anyone go after him. At that point, no one was going after him.
And then you've told us that you saw Mr. Valle run to the car, correct?
Yeah.
And nobody followed him?
No one.
Did you see Mr. De Silva at that point?
No, I did not.
You see him here in the road,
Yes.
and you say you could see Mr. McGrath,
Yes.
but you don't recall seeing Mr. De Silva there in the road?
No, I wasn't looking there.
And you don't recall seeing Mr. De Silva at any point thereafter?
No, wasn't looking over there.
You agree, and you told us that it was chaotic during the fight.
Yes.
And you told us that there are things that you told the cops that evening that were wrong about what you had seen, correct?
Yes.
And today you've come in and you've tried to tell us to the best of your ability what you recall.
Yes.
And you think you've seen this video how many times?
Around 10.
Around 10 times. And your testimony is that Mr. McGrath was just a bystander watching this go on.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Connery. Nothing further.
were you standing?
Counsel asked you a little bit about where you were standing when you first came out of the house. You were back by the top of the Bilko doors, and you were making your way towards the area where the red tree is in States 52.
Yes.
And that's where you saw the defendant and Mr. De Silva
Objection leading.
arguing back and forth with Tyler Rich, Ty Wood, Ryan Hines, Faison.
Yes.
Okay. And did you just stand there the whole time, or were you actually like kind of walking up like this?
I was walking up slowly.
And when you were walking up, were you able to see their faces? Because when people stand side by side, you can see in between people's heads.
Yes.
And is that how you in fact saw the
Objection
defendant
leading.
De Silva talking to Tyler Rich and the rest of your friends?
Yes.
And you testified on cross that you couldn't see their hands because were their hands above their head?
No, they weren't.
Were they by their side?
No.
So if somebody had a weapon or something at that point, you wouldn't be able to see it, right?
No.
But in fact, you didn't see the defendant with a weapon at that point, right?
No, I did not.
And at some point, you got did you get closer to where they were talking?
Not that close, but I was getting closer.
Now, how close would you say you got before you saw the punch and the fight started?
A little far from me to you. Around.
Like here? So about, say, 10 feet?
Yeah.
Fight happened, the punch happens, and then what do? Do you get a little closer to see what's going on?
I saw my brother go over there, and then I followed him.
Okay.
And I just watched.
You just watched. And then at some point, the interaction between Hines, your brother, and Faison stops?
Yes.
And he gets up, the defendant gets up?
Yes.
And what does he do?
He walks towards the road, and kids come out and they push him to the road.
So you go over there to see what's going on?
Yes.
At some point in time, defendant, where does he go after he's pushed out into the road?
It's the car.
And you walk away?
With my eye on him, I walked away towards.
So as you're walking away, you kind of turn and look, and you're keeping your eye on him?
Yes.
Over your left shoulder?
Yes.
And at some point in time, what do you see?
Go back.
And when he's coming back, you yell?
He has a knife. He has a knife.
And at that point, where's Jimmy in relation to where you are?
And like in front of me.
So he's like, I'm standing over here. The lectern's there. Is Jimmy like from either the lectern?
Yeah.
Okay. And counsel asked if you saw Matt Lockovich in the area. Do you remember seeing him in the area, or?
I remember seeing him near there, but as I started screaming that, he starts backing up. But he was the closest person I saw that I could identify to Jimmy.
And he indicates that there's this wall of people. Are people starting to surround the defendant when he comes back in?
No.
What are people doing when the defendant comes back in with the knife?
Taking a step back.
So they're backing up.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point when they're backing up, what does the defendant do when they're backing up?
Goes after the closest person to him, which is Jimmy.
Did you see anybody go after the defendant right before Jimmy was stabbed?
No.
No further questions.
Yeah. You told us that after the initial fight between Mr. Hines, your brother, Mr. Teal, Mr. Valle, those are the only three that you can remember being there with Mr. Valle, that at some point he goes to escape.
Yes. He got people let him go.
People let him go.
Let him go. He gets up and he walks away. And then a couple people came over and they didn't try to shove him getting back down the ground. They went over and just pushed him out away into the road to get him off the property and out of here.
Well, you just told us he was already heading out to the road.
Yes, he was.
And so people just came over to gently take him by the elbow and walk him out to the street?
No, they pushed him, but when they pushed him, they weren't pushing him for him to fall on the ground. They pushed him to get him out of there, like for him to leave.
Fair to say, sir, you don't know what was in those people's minds when they were pushing him?
Yeah, no, I don't.
But you're describing it as being something less than aggressive?
Yes.
Guiding him out to the street?
Yes, to get him out of the fight, to get him out.
And you've been asked a number of questions about your perception of what was going on in that video, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember seeing Tanner Chernowski film that video?
No, I did not.
You didn't see Tanner Chernowski at all?
No.
Objection. This is outside the scope.
I'll sustain that.
As you saw yourself walking back there on that video, you don't recall anybody being right in front of you with that camera?
No, because I wasn't looking over there. I don't remember Tanner taking a video.
Nothing further.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
This is the last witness for the prosecution, and he's done. Still don't understand this. When he saw the knife, how he called out that there was a knife before he saw it. I'm just confused on that front.
Do you have any additional witnesses?
No, Your Honor. State does not have any further witnesses. State rests.
Defense?
Anything?
Motion.
Your Honor, may the jury be excused for legal argument?
Certainly. But at this point in time, I am going to excuse the jury just briefly. I just want to bring you guys back to the jury deliberations room.
What we expect right now is either a JOA, judgment of acquittal, or a similar termed version of that, depending on what Connecticut has. This is where defense says that the prosecution has not proven every element of the charges against the client, and the judge should enter an order. So the jury doesn't even have to deliberate, because legally they couldn't even reach a conclusion based on the insufficient evidence provided by the prosecution. Now just know, this argument is going to fail.
Jury has been excused. Attorney Smith, I'll hear from you on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. At this point, the defense would make a motion for judgment of acquittal under Practice Book 42-40 and 42-41. It is the state's burden to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt as to every element of the crimes charged. I'll focus my arguments on the crime of murder that has been charged against my client, but I would direct it to all of the charges generally. These are all specific intent crimes that have been charged by the state, meaning that the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that my client had the specific intent to kill James McGrath. And I would argue that the evidence that's been put forward so far is insufficient to show that specific intent on the part of Mr. Valle. And I would also argue that to some extent, the state's charges here bolster that argument, because this fight takes place in a video that we have seen that encompasses all of 18 seconds. And during that time period, my client had the same intent with regard to all of these people that were attacking him. And if it's only assault as to some of those, as far as the intent that was used, then I would argue that, number one, that's the same intent that he had as regards all of these people that were injured that evening. The evidence as far as the specific intent is muddled at best, but certainly does not rise to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We have heard from witnesses, many of whom were inconsistent within their own testimony, but certainly inconsistent in the aggregate as we look at what they claim to be able to see. Most striking, I believe, is the inconsistency between what they can recall and versus what they are unable to recall. And I understand that that is an argument that goes perhaps towards the weight of that evidence, but I think that it goes so strongly towards the weight of that evidence that it simply cannot be deemed as rising to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt that my client had the specific intent necessary to prove the murder charges, nor to prove any of the assault charges that have also been levied against him. And for those reasons, I would move this court to grant a judgment of acquittal pursuant to the practice book sections I've already cited.
And denied.
Thank you, Attorney
After the
Smith.
state
Does the state wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would oppose the motion for judgment of acquittal at this time. We believe that the jury and the evidence could allow a reasonable jury to find that the defendant brought a knife to a home that he had no right to be at, that he started a fight, and during that fight, he had the specific intent to injure the first three individuals that he stabbed. stabbing Ryan
arguing that he
Hines 3
started
times
it?
in the chest, side, and lower area. Stabbing Faison Teal once in his upper elbow, and stabbing Tommy Connery 4 times in his legs by going after him with the intent to injure him. He then runs back, gets back to the car, and then comes back into the fight. Heard evidence that people were leaving him alone. No one was going after him. He turns around and specifically goes after Jimmy McGrath and stabs him in the chest. I think that a reasonable jury can infer what his intent was based on the manner in which these wounds are inflicted. They weren't slash marks. These were purposeful stabbings. They can infer his intent based on the number of injuries that were sustained by the 4 individuals who were harmed here. There were 9 stab wounds. They can infer from his conduct by returning to the area with a knife that his intent was to not only, 1, cause serious physical injury to those individuals, but by coming back and stabbing Mr. McGrath where he stabbed Mr. McGrath in the chest, that his intent was to kill Mr. McGrath. So I would oppose the defense's motion at this time. We believe that viewing the evidence in the light most favorable to the state at this point, that we've sustained the right for the evidence to go to the jury and for the jury to decide this case.
At this point in time, the court is going to take the motion and the opposition to the motion under consideration. I think it's a good time to go into our 15-minute recess, and I'll come back on the record with a decision after we finish up the recess. So court is going to stand in recess. We'll be back on the record at 3:15. Thank you.
Wow. She says, let me think it over. Give us 15 minutes. Let me think it over, and we'll be back. Surprised that wasn't denied just on the surface, because the judge has to consider all the evidence that's been provided in the light most favorable to the state. That means that with every single witness, they have to assume that the jurors will find them 100% credible and believe everything they say. Basically, the most favorable possible scenario with each witness on every bit of evidence that's been admitted. That's basically an I win button for the prosecution 99% of the time. Higher than that, probably 99.99. She says, I'm going to take it under advisement, possibly just because she wants to word this properly. But this is something that most judges almost have memorized, that where she says, when you look at evidence based on the light as required by the law and the light most favorable to the prosecution, we feel there's sufficient evidence for a jury to consider and reach a verdict, reach a verdict in this case, and boom, 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 there it goes. But copy paste denied. She just wants a break. I've never seen one once not denied immediately. The thing that stood out to me when the state was responding to this motion, they argued to the judge that it was Raul who started the fight. Did I hear that wrong? I have not. I've heard that he showed up to somewhere he didn't have the right to be, yet he was invited to a group chat and told to pull up. He was invited to fight, but they're saying he didn't have the right to be there. He was given the address, told to come there, and he did. I would agree that he came with hostile intentions, but saying that he shouldn't have been there, that's a bit of a stretch. Because their guys, and quite a few of them who were on that team chat, knew about this and invited him. Also by saying that Raul started the fight. What is judgment of acquittal? Sweet New Yorker Mar. Sweet New Yorker Mar. There we go. A judgment of acquittal. This is a standard motion, and it has different names in different states. But at this point in the trial, when... Hang on, I've got Ayden on the phone. Let me get him on hold for a second. Ayden, hold on one second. Hold on. Ayden, hang on just 1 second, all right? Let me finish my thought. Is it all right?
How's it going?
Good. Hang on 1 second. Let me finish my thought, and then I'll come back to you. So judgment of acquittal, it's at this phase in the trial when the prosecution has finished presenting all their evidence. At this point, the defense has no obligation to present any evidence. They could just say, we rest as well, and turn it over to the jury with closing arguments, and they could go deliberate. It's the responsibility of the prosecution to have the case proven at this point. if they haven't proven every element they're required to of every charge, this motion tells the judge either throw out that charge or throw out all the charges because they haven't done their job. Ivan, what's on your mind?
I just gonna throw a couple things on the record here. Yeah. I have a big problem, with scapegoating people. I have a big problem with charging minors with adult things, even if the decisions seem like adult things. And I just very much dislike offering certain people immunity just because they're willing to, turn on their friends. And I understand that it's legal. I understand that, free justice or whatever you want to call it. There is no honor among thieves. I get all that. But at some point, I feel like some of that has to matter. And I think he has to take the stand. He's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. And if not that it's going to sway the jury, I would just testify for some hope that you can, privy some favor with the judge when it comes down to sentencing. Because I do think he's going to lose, unfortunately. And I just do. I think that I just think that the state has really leveraged we're going to make an example of this. Where whether it's for a deterrent, whether there's some things behind the scenes, who the heck knows? But it just seems that they put the full weight of their office behind this and use every tactic there is, because you very rarely see any immunity deals, let alone multiple immunity deals. I don't know that I've ever seen it, to be honest. So I feel like he's going to lose, and I feel like testifying is his only hope to get some sort of, leniency with the judge with his story and what he has to say. So
yeah. I'm with you. Those immunity deals, they're sweet deals. Complete immunity, as long as you tell us what we want to hear. That's what it amounts to, right?
Well,
because they get to decide if you're telling the truth.
To me, that tells me, is it serious or is it not serious? You're saying it's serious because you offered the kid 40 years, which is just despicable of a deal. But you're saying it's not so serious because you're willing to say two people can get away with everything. So which is it? And that's the part that frustrates me and doesn't seem to have, doesn't seem to line up. Why do you need, to me, it tells me they needed that. They needed two people to point the finger because they didn't have anything else.
Yeah.
And because without that, what's the case? Everything else looks bad for their case. The only thing they really have is the two buddies willing to say, yeah, it's him. Other than that, there is no case.
Yeah, well, one of those buddies organized the group going to the fight, said, hey, get in my car, we're going to go, I'm going to take you there. He brought the knife, he gave the knife to Raul. There's some all sorts of culpability issues that arise there, and gets a full deal.
Where's the text messages? Celebrate just we're too busy? I don't understand.
I don't think they ever pulled him. I don't know.
Yeah, well, or did they pull him and it just looked terrible? I don't know. I mean, that seems to be a pretty big factor when you're talking about culpability and who set this up. That's the whole thing to me. Yeah. So I got to get off the phone because I'm going to get you demonetized. So love you guys. And,
I can sense it's coming close. Ivan, thanks. Love you, man.
Yep.
Thanks for the call.
Yep.
See you. Bye. The judge back there, I would probably fall out of my chair if she rules that this in favor of the defense here and says motion granted, case dismissed. That's not going to happen. But she might word it.
Call from AZDCS Oversight.
AZDCS Oversight, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. RA, do you know if his attorney is a public defender or private?
It's my understanding he's private.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to find out, and I was hoping that it wasn't a, with liberty and justice for all who can afford it situation.
Yes. Yeah. Let me tell you that we've got a situation. Generally, if you can afford a $200,000 deposit on a bond, you probably aren't going to be able to get your own public defender just at the state's dime. So
gotcha.
He's out on he's posted that $200,000 of the $2 million bond, Generally,
Gotcha.
it's going to be a private defender.
Okay. All right. Hey, thanks. Have a
Not
good
a problem.
one.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi, chat. Bye, chat.
Bye. That's funny. Hi, bye. All right. Do we ever find out what happened on Friday to set the judge off? I have not heard, but it sounds like it involved something in the courtroom and possibly a player in court, whether it be a defendant, a prosecution, a juror, a court member. I'd be surprised if it was like the court clerk or something. These guys are pretty neutral in these cases. There's nothing for them to really take flack over. But I'm guessing it was probably something from an observer who had words with somebody outside court. So that would be my guess. Yeah, this guy's a high-quality defense lawyer. He's doing a good job. I'm surprised he didn't question about the knife. And I guess maybe it just helps to not bring up the knife very much, because that's obviously a point that everybody has a hard time with, bringing a knife to a fist fight. But where Mr. Connery, sorry, the name escaped me, first saw the knife, how he knew he had the knife.
Call from
Wall.
AWOL. Usually wait till the end of the day, but we get you here on break. How's it going?
Pretty good. Everything's good. Got out of work a little early, so
nice.
How do I word this? I don't know the age group of people in chat or their upbringing, but I have seen and been involved in situations where a group invites another group to a fair one. Somebody gets the better of the other. So then reputations are like, oh, no, we can't let this happen. So then it turns into a melee. But that was not what was expected to happen. Even though it's an idea, you have it in the back of your head like this can go wrong. But if you challenge me to a fair one, those should be the rules. If you lose, you shake hands or don't shake hands and you walk away. And that should be the agreement. And that was all the time. Did it get a little crazy? Sure. I got lucky. I didn't end up sitting at a defense table or, you know what I mean? But it's tough to read chat sometimes and say like, oh, he shouldn't have, or they should, on either side. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can tell you the demographics if you want to know. 85% of the audience is female, and the vast majority are over the age of 55.
Okay. My freshman year in high school was 1996. Graduated in 2000s. No cell phones earlier in high school. So it was more young. It was fair. No weapons. I'll say that. There were no weapons ever involved, which was a code of ethics that we had. Like, we're not doing that. It's hands and feet, and that is all that is allowed. But being 16 and 17 as these kids, it's easy to go, oh, hindsight is 20/20. You shouldn't have, or this, or that. But this was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
the internet is crazy. These kids grew up completely different than how our brains were formed.
I can tell you, AWOL, that if one of my kids had been at that party, I would have come down on them pretty hard, because I'm the type of parent that says you shouldn't be at places where this happens. Okay, don't be in places where all the ingredients are put in place. That's just how I parent. Now I might be like way overprotective and causing problems down the future. I don't know. But there were so many levels that this is wrong at, and then we're at the very end and trying to say how did we get here?
Yeah, I agree that violence is never the answer. Violence is never the answer whatsoever. It never ends well. It never ends well. But if you invite problems, one, you're going to find them. So be ready for the consequences. That's number one. And as far as teaching your kid, everybody relax, walk. Every trained professional MMA fighter that gets into an altercation in the street knows they have a code of ethics. They're like, I can really harm this person because I'm trained that he's not. Let me walk away because I know what I'm capable of. And 99% of humans walking around stand zero chance. I'm not trained. I'm saying other people that are trained. So, but if you're not,
in the zero chance guy.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, right?
I'm a talker. I'm not a fighter. It's like, hey, let's reason this one out, guys. Let's
let's
hear me
talk it
out.
out.
Hear me out.
Yeah, hear me out. I didn't mean to bump you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all good.
But so I mean, it's good. Teach your kids that violence is never the answer. But at the same time, you have the right to defend yourself. And I think this is what I think should be taught in schools. And I ended with this. I think or as a parent, or schools, whatever, I think some form of martial arts training kids should take, because you learn how to control yourself. You learn honor. You learn how an older adult is your sensei and how to respect authority and older people. You find yourself a way out. You find, like, if I mess up, this can happen to me. If I miss this punch and he lands, this is bad news.
Yep.
So
There's a ton
therefore,
of
let me
great
not
stuff to
start
learn.
anything.
Through any of the martial arts, generally, it's not enough just to like learn how to make to do certain hits or blows or blocks on YouTube. I'm talking like get a sensei, be in a dojo, learn the respect, learn the ranks and the how you sit, how you participate, how you watch. I mean, there's so many things that they're taught. A lot of those are also taught in many different sports and kids sports growing up.
That's true.
A good coach is a great mentor, and a kid walks away with a lot more than just knowing how to run a football route. They'll walk away with an idea of what it's like to be on a team and how to work together and how to sacrifice and how to overcome adversity and all these other things. They're great. There was a point in there, AWOL, I wasn't going to call you out in the moment, but you sounded just like Yoda. It's like the way you phrase things. Karate a kid should take or something like that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, my mind runs super fast. I debate so much in my personal life that my mind runs so fast.
Yeah, I hear you. You've had some really sound advice throughout this one, AWOL, as we've heard from you multiple times on this case particularly. So
yeah. So all right, thank you for taking the call. I respect everything you do. Shout out to chat and the mods, and I love everybody. Be safe.
All right, thanks, AWOL.
Love everybody. How about that?
Everybody. I will say one thing before you, AWOL.
Yeah.
Violence is. What do you say? Violence is not the solution. What was the? Violence
is never the answer. It is never the answer, unless it's your only way out. But it's never the answer.
I believe it's the last resort. Like, I mean, that's why I got. I have means to protect myself as a last resort. Thankfully, I've never had to shoot somebody. But
yeah, I agree with that. But I don't consider that violence. I consider that protection.
Yeah.
When I say violence is never the action, is to be the aggressor.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said. Never be the aggressor.
I'm with you there. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. AWOL,
yeah,
thank
we're on
you.
the same page.
I just have to let you know, you've got a fan club out here. Yeah. Drop your links, man. Some people want to connect. So.
I mean, this is the thing. I hate promoting. I hate doing any of that. And I don't run the podcast anymore. I think I said that prior. I stopped a little bit ago.
It's time.
But, I mean, there's episodes on there, but it's definitely not Pickles. And that's another reason why I don't want to promote it. Well, I already said it now. Yeah. But it's not Pickles. Yeah. So I don't want to invite anybody to see something that they might not like.
Just
and
know what you're getting into.
You know what I mean? But I love freedom of speech, though, so It is what it is.
Hey, well, thanks. I appreciate you sharing that with us. We'll see you, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Bye.
Later. Bye.
All right. Richard Chambers, talking of fighting, I will never, ever, ever see the new Karate Kid films that Will Smith created because it's not karate. It's not karate. Oh, man. The original, wax on, wax off. That's the way to go. All right. We are in a 15-minute break right now. Should just be a couple more minutes left. This one is it's the regular scheduled afternoon break, but the judge is using this time to formulate her response to the defense's motion for a judgment of acquittal.
Call from Kim.
Kim with the Dolphins. How are you doing, Kim?
Hey, how are you?
Is it Kim with the Dolphins or the other Kim?
I'm formerly known as Kimmy, but now I think it's Kim Franken 9239.
Okay. All right. We have a Kim with the Dolphins as well, but.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know. I don't have Dolphins on mine, but I do like Dolphins.
Kim. Yep. What's on your mind, Kim?
So, I just wanted to know if any of the parents are being charged with anything for having underage drinking at their house.
There have been parents that are charged. I think the parents of the first party were charged. The party at the girl's house. I think in that case, don't quote me on this, but I believe that it was involved providing alcohol to minors. And I know that there are civil suits all over the place on this. So there's damages, money, things like that, where people are going to be,
Okay, I was just wondering. I hadn't heard about that. So, but I just want to say, my son is 18. Mm-hmm. He's kind of expanding his, going out with his friends and hanging out. They went to some senior trips, and you never know what's going to happen, but you just got to kind of know your kids' friends. And I've kind of talked to my son about this case, like, like don't
get here, right?
Don't get here. He has a great friend group. He's never been in public school, which that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because I guess some of these kids weren't in public school either. But you just got to know I don't know any of his friends' parents who would ever allow drinking at their house. Yeah. But you just got to try to pick your friends wisely. I know he has a couple that, we kind of stay away from them. Because, he has been around them when, bad things happen, but nothing serious.
Yeah. I know.
You just gotta pick your friends wisely. And
growing up with my older siblings, who seem to, I think in my mind, they got away with murder. Not literally, but the older siblings, the parents were like, "Hey, you want a party? Sure, invite all your friends and come over." By the time it was my age to have a party, it's like, "Oh, we're not so sure that's a good idea," But the parents were involved, and they knew all my older siblings' friends, and they know my friends, and they know where I'm hanging out and who's going to be there. That was one of the questions, like, "Where are you going? Who's going to be there? Are the parents going to be there?" Yeah. It's just that sort of awareness is great. I think you run into problems when you have parties that sort of get posted online and they can explode. It's like, hey, the address and the invite to this party just got posted on Facebook or social media. Cancel the party. Lock the doors. Okay, don't, because that's just
we didn't have social media. We didn't have social media in my day, so it was like word of mouth. Yeah. but still, like, you just gotta. It's just. I feel bad for the boy who lost his life. Yeah. And all the other kids who were involved, like, it's going to affect them for the rest of their life.
Yeah. I feel it. I'm cool with parties. I like don't get me wrong. I'm good. Oh. I think it's great for kids to get together and hang out on the weekends and have some fun. Let their hair out. I'm not big on the alcohol thing. I don't think kids make good decisions when they're sober. Making them, a little bit tipsy, usually it leads to worse decisions, and some of those can have life-changing effects. Anyway, thank you so much for the call, Kim. Appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you do.
All right. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Any moment now, we expect the judge back. Let me just check the timer. Let's see. It shows 1:45. Yep, she should be back any second now. Is it just coincidence that he yelled he has a knife before the defendant had a knife? Did someone else have a knife? No one had a knife. It's pure coincidence, and apparently nobody cares about it but us. The defense didn't go into it. The prosecution didn't obviously dwell on that issue, but doesn't know where the knife came from.
Call from new subscriber.
Hey, new subscriber. This is R.A. How are you doing? Oh, we're coming back to court.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay, look, I just wanted to say that this lawyer is a big deal. You should look him up.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you. Bye. Thanks, new subscriber. Sorry about cutting you off.
Prepared to render its decision on the record on the motion for judgment of acquittal in this case. The motion was sought as to all 4 counts with emphasis on murder. So I'm going to start by saying that in ruling on a motion for judgment of acquittal, the trial judge must determine whether a reasonable, rational trier of fact could find the crime proven beyond a reasonable doubt. A determination of whether the evidence could reasonably support a finding of guilty beyond a reasonable doubt does not require a court to ask itself whether it believes that the evidence at trial established guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Instead, the relevant question is whether, after viewing the evidence in a light most favorable to the prosecution, any rational trier of fact could find the essential elements of a crime beyond a reasonable doubt. I anticipated the defendant's motion, as it is commonly made at the close of the prosecution's case in chief, wherefore I did review and had the opportunity to look at the following: pattern jury instructions, the notes that I've taken. I've reviewed the statutes that apply in this case, and after careful consideration of the evidence presented at trial and the logical and reasonable inferences that can be drawn from the facts presented and that evidence, I find that the jury reasonably could conclude that all elements of the crimes charged in the information, which include murder at count 1, assault in the first degree at count 2, assault in the first degree at count 3, and assault in the second degree at count 4, have been proved. Therefore, that's moving us now to the defendant's presentation of the evidence. So this time, Attorney Smith, before bringing the jury back in, I'd like to inquire what is Mr. Valle's decision with regards to testifying in this matter.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I have spoken with Mr. Valle, and it is his intention to testify here, Your Honor, and I would ask that he be canvassed as to that decision.
He's taking
All
a
right,
stand.
so in accordance with current case law, the Morel Vargas matter set forth in the Supreme Court, I am going to go ahead and canvass Mr. Valle regarding his decision. As
First
it is
time
a
we hear his voice.
constitutional decision, constitutional rights apply here. So at this point in time, I'm going to actually start with counsel. Attorney Smith, have you informed the defendant that he has the right to testify as well as the right not to testify? And should he not testify, the fact finder may not draw any adverse inferences from his choice to not testify?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you also explain to the defendant his right to testify as well as to not testify belongs to him alone and that no one else can make that decision for him, including counsel?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you also discuss the advantages and disadvantages of testifying in this particular trial?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Mr. Valle, I would ask you to please stand. I am going to ask you some questions. Thank you. So, Mr. Valle, the court's going to make an inquiry regarding your decision to testify in this case. The inquiry is not meant to have any effect on your decision, but rather to document your decision on the record. Do you understand that? So after consulting with Attorney Smith, is it your decision to testify on your own behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have a constitutional right to either testify on your own behalf or to not testify on your own behalf? Do you also understand that you're not obligated to testify?
Yes.
Do you further understand that if you were to choose not to testify, the fact finder would be instructed not to draw any adverse inferences from your choice to not testify? Do you also understand that your right to testify or to not testify belongs to you alone and no one, including your counsel, can prevent you from testifying or force you to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you feel that you've had enough time and opportunity to discuss your decision with counsel, including strategy concerning the right to testify or to not testify in your case?
Yes.
And you also feel that you've had enough time to consider the advantages and disadvantages of testifying? Have you understood the information that counsel has provided to you relative to your decision? Is it your personal decision to testify in this case, thereby waiving your right to not testify? You're making this decision voluntarily, Mr. Valle. No one's forcing you or threatening you concerning the decision that you've made here today. Okay. Have you understood all of my questions?
Yes.
Do you need any more time with counsel before moving forward? Okay. The court's going to find that the defendant has chosen to testify and has effectively waived his right to not testify knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. So, Mr. Valle, you may be seated. Attorney Smith, are you in a position at this time to go ahead and present the defense of this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
So at this time, then, I would ask the clerk to please bring our jury in.
Yes, Your Honor.
This does not mean he's going to be first, but I would be surprised if he's not.
I'm not sure if I stated it on the record. The clerk sent me a note, but just in case I didn't, the motion for judgment of acquittal is denied.
The clerk's like, did you deny that or not? That was denied.
That, ladies and gentlemen, the day. Counsel to the return of all reserves.
State will stipulate, Your Honor.
Defense stipulates, Your Honor.
Thank you. At this time, I would ask the defense to please present its next witness or first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask for Mr. Valle to be called to the stand and put under oath by the clerk.
There we go.
Mr. Valle, please come on up. Please step into the witness box. Once you are in the witness box, please remain standing, and the clerk is going to put you under oath.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please raise your hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury? If so, please say I do. Thank you. Please state your full name, spelling your last name, and address for the record.
He's spelling it, and he's giving his address. Don't need his address.
You may be seated. Thank you. Attorney Smith, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Valle. You're going to need to keep your voice up. Okay? We are competing with the fan in the back, and I see the court reporter nodding. She's not able to hear you, so you need to stay close to the microphone, speak loud enough to be heard over the fan, and you've got to give a verbal response of some form, yes, no, or whatever the answer may be, but it has to be loud enough to be heard, okay?
Yes.
There we go. You and I have met before?
Yes.
And
oh, come on, we need to.
Can you tell us how old you are now?
I'm 20 years old.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you one more time. You got to keep your voice up. I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm sure the jurors are having trouble hearing you.
I'm 20 years old.
You're 20 years old now? Okay, did you recently turn 20 years old?
Yes.
And are you in school now?
I'm not.
Are you working now?
I'm not.
Did you complete high school? Where did you complete high school?
I finished online at Foreign High School.
And when did you finish online?
2023.
Where did you go to school for high school before that?
St. Joseph High School in Trumbull.
And were you at St. Joseph's High School from the time you were a freshman?
Yes.
Where were you before that?
It's at East Shore Middle School in Milford.
Is that a public school that you've just described? And the school that you went to for high school, St. Joseph's High School, is that a private school?
Trying needs to move that mic.
Prior to going to St. Joseph's High School, had you been in the Milford Public Schools?
Yes.
Since you were a child?
Yes.
Did you grow up in Milford?
Yes.
Did you grow up anywhere other than Milford?
I lived in Florida for 2 years.
Anywhere else in Connecticut?
Haven.
When you say you were in Florida for 2 years, was that before you came to Connecticut?
I was in Connecticut and then I moved to Florida. And then I came back.
Okay. Did you go to any New Haven schools? Do you remember how old you were when you moved to Milford?
Very young. I can't remember the age.
Did you start your schooling in Milford or somewhere else?
Yes.
And who lived in your house with you as you were growing up?
My 3 brothers, my dad, and my mother.
And your 3 brothers, what are their names?
Raul, Eric, and Oscar.
Did you say the first one was Raul? You have a brother who's also named Raul. And can you just explain, is that a brother from, is that a half brother or is that a full brother?
Full brother. The name was passed down from my grandfather.
I see. And do you go by a nickname?
They've got 2 Rauls.
And what is that nickname?
Tito.
And what does that mean?
Like the younger.
Uh-huh. I see. Is that like Pablito or Carlito?
Yes.
I see.
The only ones I know are
When you were
bad
at
words.
St. Joseph's High School, did you have a circle of friends? And who was in that circle of friends?
Close to me, I would say James Albert, Tyler De Silva. Those were the 2 I was closest with. Everybody else was on the football team, and I was close with them too, but not as close.
That was Tyler De Silva and somebody named James Albert. When was the last time you saw Mr. Albert?
Yesterday.
And when was the last time that you saw Mr. De Silva?
Here in court.
Did you have a girlfriend while you were at St. Joseph's High School? And who was that?
Kenzie Traficante.
And when did you and Ms. Traficante become involved with one another?
My junior year.
And what year was that?
2022.
Was that the 2021-2022 school year? And did you date Ms. Traficante the entire school year?
Say almost, not fully though.
She said it was only 3 months.
And did you have any hobbies while you were in school?
Really just play sports, football, wrestling. Hanging out with friends on the weekends whenever I had free time.
Were you into fishing or hunting?
Yes.
Which of those, fishing or hunting?
My father.
You're not a hunter? Where would you go fishing?
My father owned a boat, so we were going to the ocean.
Were you in the practice of carrying a pocket knife?
No, but when we went fishing, it was pocket knife.
Were you ever trained in how to use a knife? In May of 2022, where were you living? Same place you're living today? How long have you lived at that home?
About 5 years, 6 years, I think.
Mr. Valle, I'm sorry, I am going to have to ask you to just please raise your voice and respond, and people are having difficulty hearing you. Thank you.
Around 5 to 6 years.
Okay. Prior to that, you had still been living in Milford, but just in a different home or somewhere else?
Yes.
And you were in your junior year of high school in May of 2022. Is that what you told us? Had you started applying to any colleges yet?
Yes.
Which colleges?
Mainly in Florida.
And you told us you knew a girl named Mackenzie Traficante because she was your girlfriend.
Yes.
And how did you meet Ms. Traficante?
She was a cheerleader and I was on the football team, so I saw her quite often.
And did you take her to the prom that spring?
I did.
Was that your prom or her prom?
Her prom.
Why were you allowed to go?
She was a senior, so it was her prom, and they're allowed to bring anybody they want, pretty much.
And when did that prom take place?
May 13th, 2022.
May 13th, 2022? Did you attend that with any other couples, or was it just you and Ms. Traficante?
Yeah, I attended it with Tyler De Silva and whoever he went with. I don't remember who he went with. And a few other people in my grade who wanted to go to the prom as well. Found a date.
You mentioned knowing a boy named Jack Snyder.
Yes.
And you mentioned going to the prom with him as part of a group.
Yes.
And who was Jack Snyder to you?
A football team and a classmate.
Was he part of your close friend group?
I'd say I was really close with 2 people, but I was friendly with everybody. So.
Had you known Mr. Snyder since coming to St. Joseph's High School?
No.
I'm going to repeat the judge because I'm having trouble hearing you. If I'm having trouble hearing you, I'm sure everybody else is, okay? Got to really make an effort for us to keep your voice up.
Move the mic.
Are you nervous? I understand. We need to be able to hear you, though, okay? And you told us that you knew a boy named Tyler De Silva.
Yes.
Did you meet him when you came to St. Joseph's High School?
No, I knew him before.
And how long had you known Mr. De Silva?
Since I started playing football in Milford around the age of like 8, I would say.
Okay. And in May of 2022, how old were you?
16 years old.
So at that point, you'd known Mr. De Silva for about 8 years, you think?
Yes.
Would you describe Mr. Snyder as a close friend?
No.
Would you describe Mr. De Silva as a close friend? What makes him somebody that you would describe as a close friend?
Didn't do everything with Tyler De Silva. Every free weekend we had, we spent together, parties together. Just
together all the time, pretty much.
Are you still close with Mackenzie Trafficante?
No.
When was the last time you saw Ms. Trafficante?
In court.
Here?
Yes.
When was the last time?
When was the
before that?
last time that you saw Tyler De Silva?
Here in court as well.
And when was the last time that you saw Mr. Snyder?
Here in court as well.
When we say the last time, from May 14th of 2022 until here in court, had you seen them at all? When was the last time that you were close with them?
Before this all happened.
So you say before this all happened. When we're talking about this all happened, we're talking about May 14th, 2022, are we not?
Yes.
Do you remember how that day began?
Yes.
How?
Prom was the night before. Woke up, texted my girlfriend, and arranged to hang out with her.
That was Mackenzie Trafficante?
Yes.
Was there anybody else at home at that time?
My mother and my younger brother.
And did you have any plans with them for that day?
Later at night, yeah, but for the day, no.
And what were they doing that day?
They were leaving to Florida on the same night to go visit my oldest brother and my nephew.
Were you planning at that point to go with Ms. Trafficante for the day?
Yes.
And you mentioned that you had texted her. Did you end up making plans with her?
Yes.
And what did you do with Ms. Trafficante?
We went to the beach and a little bit of hiking.
When you say you went to the beach, can you tell us where?
Milford.
Do you recall what beach that was?
Gulf Beach.
I'm sorry?
Gulf Beach.
Gulf Beach? Okay. And you say you went hiking as well. Can you tell us where you went hiking?
Downtown, there's like a little trail through the woods and stuff and a little pier.
Okay. And what time did you meet up with Ms. Trafficante that day?
I want to say early afternoon, but I can't remember the exact time.
How did you come to be with Ms. Trafficante? Did she drive to you? Did you drive to her?
I went to pick her up.
Did you have your own car?
Good.
And after going to the beach and hiking, what did you do next?
At that time, it was later in the afternoon, and we went back to my house.
In Milford?
Yes.
And what did you do when you got back to the house?
Just chill, relax, nothing special.
Was there anybody else home when you got home?
My mother and my younger brother.
And what were they doing, if anything?
I can't recall.
Did you have any plans for that evening?
At that time, no.
You say at that time, no. Did there later come a time when you did make some plans for that evening?
Yes.
And how did that come to be?
I believe Tyler had texted me about a party that was going on, and he asked me to come with him.
That's Tyler De Silva.
Yes.
Okay. And did you agree to go with him?
Yes.
Did Ms. Trafficante go along as well?
Yes.
And how did you end up going to that party?
Yes.
And where was that party?
Shelton, 5 Lazy Brook Road.
And did you know the people that lived at 5 Lazy Brook Road?
At the time, no.
And how did you get to that party?
Jack came and picked me and my girlfriend at the time up.
And when you say Jack, that's Jack Snyder?
Yes.
But you owned your own car?
Yes.
Why was Jack driving this group to this party?
We all like drinking, and he was mainly the one who would drive us around and stuff.
Okay. So it was understood that there would be some underage drinking going on at this party? Did you bring your own alcohol?
I did not.
Did anybody in your party bring alcohol?
Tyler De Silva.
Okay. Were you with him when he got that alcohol?
He got it from his parents. We never stopped to get it.
I couldn't hear the end part.
We never stopped to get it.
You never stopped to get alcohol?
He says he stopped at a store.
Was that fairly standard for his parents to supply the alcohol when you were with him?
Yeah.
Did Mr. Snyder come to pick you up at your home?
Yes.
Was Mr. De Silva already with him?
Yes.
Was there anybody else in the car?
My girlfriend at the time, Mackenzie Trafficante.
Okay. Anybody else other than the four of you?
No.
And did the four of you leave in Jack Snyder's car and go to 5 Lazy Brook?
Yes.
How long did it take to get there?
Anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes.
And what was it like in the car on the way there?
Chill, drinking, listening to music.
Loudly?
Yes.
Was that fairly standard as well?
Yeah, always.
Did you bring any alcohol in the car?
No.
Did you drink alcohol in the car?
Yes.
Did Tyler De Silva drink alcohol in the car?
Yes.
Did Jack Snyder drink alcohol in the car?
Yes.
While driving?
Yes.
Did you bring any weapons in the car?
No.
Did you see any weapons in the car?
No.
Did you know if anybody else brought weapons in the car?
No.
You told us it took about 15 to 20 minutes to get to 5 Lazy Brook? What time did you arrive at 5 Lazy Brook?
Around 8 or 9 p.m.
Was it dark already?
Yeah.
Was it dark when you left the house to get there?
About to be.
And what was going on at 5 Lazy Brook when you got there?
Upon getting there, we texted somebody who was already there to come show us the way in. And we walked up and went inside.
When you say we texted somebody, did you text somebody?
No, Tyler De Silva.
So Tyler De Silva texted somebody, and did someone come to allow you into the party?
Yeah.
Where did they meet you?
In the driveway.
Do you remember who it was?
I believe Will Singewold.
Will Singewold came to let you into the party?
Yes.
And who's Will Singewold?
He was in my grade. We played football together.
Okay. Did you see anyone else that you knew at the party?
Yeah, there was a ton of people from my grade, and I pretty much know everybody there.
Was this a party that consisted of St. Joseph's High School students?
Yeah.
Did you see any folks there that were not St. Joseph's High School students?
No.
And what did you do once you were into the party?
Greeted everybody. Started talking, conversating.
Do you remember what you were wearing that evening?
Was wearing Old Miss blue T-shirt, black jeans, and slides.
Slides. What do you mean by slides?
Not flip-flops, but they were a form of sandals, pretty much.
All right. Let's see if I understand what a slide is. Is this a sandal that has a strap that goes across the top?
Yes.
Just a single strap?
Yes.
Fighting shoes.
And
terrible. They're not for fighting.
At some point, did you put on a neck pillow?
Yes.
And why did you put on a neck pillow?
At the time, I thought it was funny.
Okay. Were you doing anything in particular when you put on that neck pillow?
Yes, we were playing beer pong.
Okay. And is that a contact sport?
No.
So the neck pillow didn't have anything to do with the game of beer pong?
No.
It was just to be funny?
Yeah.
And at some point, did you also put on a motorcycle helmet?
I did.
And did you bring that with you?
No.
And where did you find that?
Next to the beer pong table, there was a shelf with a whole bunch of random items.
Okay. And is that where you also found the neck pillow?
Yes.
You put both of those things on?
Yes.
And how long did you have those things on while you were playing this game?
The motorcycle helmet, we were kind of passing it around as like a good luck thing when we were shooting in beer pong. It was off and on.
Okay. So you would take it off, you would pass it to whoever else was up to bat, so to speak?
Yes.
And the neck pillow, was that something that you also passed around, or were you the only one wearing that?
No, I was the only one wearing that.
How long were you there at the party just engaged in this behavior you've described?
About an hour and a half.
And after an hour and a half, did There come a time when some people arrived that you were not familiar with?
Yes.
And how did you become aware of these people?
We were by the door, as that side of the beer pong table was by the door of the garage, and they came up.
When you say they came up, what did you see?
2 kids arrived and came up to the door.
And what did those 2 kids do?
At first, they just said that they were invited by Austin Leifer.
Objections to what they said. Ask that it be stricken.
Court will strike the response that was provided to that question. So ladies and gentlemen, jury, please delete that from your notes if you took a note, and otherwise don't consider it as evidence.
Did you know either of those 2 folks?
I did not.
And did it appear to you that other people in the party knew who those 2 people were?
No.
Did it appear to you that Jack Snyder knew who they were?
No.
Where was Jack Snyder at this point?
By the door.
Where was Tyler DeSilva at this point?
By the door.
And did you see Jack Snyder interact with these 2 people who showed up?
First, yes.
What did you see Jack Snyder do at first?
Just conversate.
Did you see Tyler DeSilva interact with these people?
At first, no.
And what was he doing?
We were still playing beer pong.
So you and Tyler DeSilva were playing beer pong and Jack Snyder was interacting with these folks.
Yes.
And did there come a point when that interaction became aggressive between the 2 of them?
Yes.
And did there come a point when Mr. Snyder took a case of beer from one of the 2?
Yes.
And what happened after that?
It moved out into the driveway, and then a fight started.
And when you say it moved out into the driveway and then a fight started, describe for us what people did once the group moved out into the driveway.
I can't really remember who all was around, but I remember Jack and the other kid were close to each other.
And did they square off with one another?
Yes.
Where were you when they squared off with one another?
Off to the side.
Did you put the helmet on in order to go outside?
Objection.
No.
Leading.
Sustained. I'll strike the response, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
When you went outside, what were you wearing?
A motorcycle helmet and my regular clothes.
He's wearing a good luck motorcycle helmet.
And when you got out to the driveway, were you engaged at all with Mr. Hines at that point?
No.
Was Mr. Snyder engaged with Mr. Hines at that point?
No.
But at some point you've described they started to square off.
Yes.
And what positions did the other people that were there take at that point?
They just started circling, like trying to get a better position on each other. I wasn't really paying attention to anybody else.
Okay. And did there come a time when you came into contact with one of them?
Yes.
Who was that?
Ryan Hines.
And how did you come in contact with Mr. Hines?
As he was circling, since I didn't have shoes on, he stepped on my foot and I pushed him.
You pushed him?
Yes.
Did you punch him?
No.
He stepped on my foot.
After you pushed him, did you continue to attack him?
No.
What did you do?
He tackled Jack and was beating on him while he was on the floor.
I'm sorry?
He was beating on him while he was on the floor.
Who was beating on him while he was on the floor?
Ryan was getting the better of Jack.
Ryan was getting the better of Jack?
Yes.
What happened next?
We went over to break it up. He wasn't getting off at first, so we started pulling him off.
You started pulling him off?
Yes.
Did you take off your helmet?
No.
Did you swing your helmet?
No.
Did you headbutt?
Were you intending to fight Mr. Hines?
No.
Did you use your helmet in any way to attack Mr. Hines?
No.
As you were pulling or as you were getting involved with this fight that's going on between Mr. Hines and Mr. Snyder, what were the other people doing?
There was a couple people watching. Tyler DeSilva was helping me break it up.
And what did you do?
Still was trying to pull him off.
By doing what? What were you doing with your hands? Describe for us what occurred.
I was grabbing him by his waist, trying to pull him off of Jack.
You were grabbing Mr. Hines by the waist?
Yes.
Were you punching him?
No.
Were you kicking him?
No.
Did anybody else come over to join you?
Other than Tyler DeSilva, no.
Did you see anybody filming this?
At the time, no.
Have you since, as we sat in the courtroom, seen a video of what appears to be the fight at 5 Lazy Brook?
Yes.
And did you see other people come over to join this breaking up of the fight?
Yes.
Did you know any of those other people?
Yes.
Who did you know?
Emily Robinson.
How did you know Emily Robinson?
Just seen her in school a few times. I really didn't know her.
Okay. And after the fight was broken up, what happened next?
Miss Leifer came outside.
Who's Miss Leifer?
The mom of Maddie Leifer.
Was she the homeowner?
Yes.
Had you met Miss Leifer before?
No.
And what did Miss Leifer do at that point?
She came up, snatched the beer from Jack that he was holding, and gave it back to the kid and said, "Get out of here."
And what else did she do, if anything?
At that time, she walked over to the garage and was able to see like how many people were actually at her house.
Did you go back to the party?
I did.
I'm sorry?
I did.
And how long did you remain at the party?
15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. And did you come to leave the party at some point?
I did.
And why did you leave the party?
Miss Leifer had shut it down.
Shut it down.
How did you leave the party?
With Jack Snyder.
Anybody else?
Tyler DeSilva, my girlfriend at the time. Will Sinjwald needed a ride, so he came. Same with Keenan and Dimitri.
So there were, at that point, 7 of you in Mr. Snyder's car?
Yes.
Where were you seated in Mr. Snyder's car?
Behind the driver.
And Mr. Snyder was driving?
Yes.
And who was in the passenger seat?
Tyler DeSilva.
You were seated behind Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
And where was Ms. Trafficante seated?
So, on my lap.
Who was beside you and Ms. Trafficante?
To my right, it was Will Sinjwald, and then to his right, it was Keenan.
To his right was Keenan Prasic?
Yes.
He was against the passenger side rear door?
Yes.
And where was Mr. Arfanis?
In the trunk.
Was there a plan at that point for what to do?
It was still kind of early in the night, so we were looking for another place to go. If there was another party, and where we were going to go next.
At that point, did you have any weapons on you?
No.
Were you planning to go fight anyone?
No.
Did you see anybody else in your group with weapons?
No.
What was Jack Snyder doing at this point?
Just driving.
Did you know where he was driving you to?
No.
What was Tyler DeSilva doing at this point?
In the front talking to Jack.
Could you hear what they were saying?
No.
And what was the music like if it was on?
Loud.
And what were you doing at this point?
Just talking to my girlfriend and Will. Conversating.
And were you doing any texting at this point on your phone?
No.
Did you have your phone with you?
Yes.
Did other people have their cell phones with them?
Yes.
Could you see anybody on their cell phone at that point?
I saw Jack Snyder on and off his phone while driving.
And where did the car go?
We ended up at Trumbull High School.
You say you ended up at Trumbull High School. Is that someplace that you'd been before?
Only for football games.
As the car was driving, did you know that you were heading towards Trumbull High School?
No.
And what was going on when you arrived at Trumbull High School?
There was a couple cars from the party before that were also trying to figure out what to do.
And did Jack Snyder stop the car there?
Yes.
Did you see anyone there that you knew?
Yes.
Who?
The car closest to us was a car full of girls, and there was 3 of them that were in my grade.
Do you remember who they were?
I only remember the driver.
And who was that?
Maya Fagan.
I'm sorry?
Maya Fagan.
How did you know Maya Fagan?
She was a friend of mine in the same grade. She was also a cheerleader.
Did she know Ms. Trafficante?
Yes.
And did Mr. Snyder park the car?
Yes.
And what did the people in Mr. Snyder's car do?
A few people got out. No, I don't think anybody stayed in the car.
Did you get out of the car?
At one point, yes.
And did Ms. Trafficante get out of the car?
Yes.
And what did you do when you got out of the car?
Talk to the car full of girls.
Okay. And did you see what the other people were doing?
I saw Jack and Tyler go over to another car, and I can't remember what Dimitri and Keenan were doing.
You saw Jack and Tyler go over to another car?
Yes.
Do you know who was in that other car?
No.
Did there come a time when folks got back into Mr. Snyder's car?
Yes.
What led to people getting back into Mr. Snyder's car?
Everybody was getting back in their cars, and I was assuming we had someplace to go now.
You say you were assuming that you had someplace to go. Was there a plan at that point of where to go?
One of the girls in the other car had told me about
Objection as to what they said.
Without telling us what anybody said, and as you understood it, was there a plan to go somewhere else at that point when you got back into Jack Snyder's car?
Another party in Trumbull.
Another party in Trumbull?
Yes.
Okay. And did you at some point become aware of a group chat that was going on?
Yes.
Was this a group chat that you had created?
No.
Were you a part of this group chat?
Yes.
How did you become a part of this group chat?
I got added to it.
You got added to it?
Yes.
How did you know that you had been added to it?
As soon as you're added to a group chat and people are texting in it, you get a notification that pops up.
And did you get a notification?
Yes.
What, when you got that notification, did you look at your phone?
Yes.
And what was the nature of the texts that were going back and forth on this group chat?
There was a lot of people in it, and they were just talking crap to each other back and forth.
Did you know any of the people that were in that group chat?
Yes.
Who?
A couple of my friends I noticed were in there from my football team. Some kids that weren't even around, they were at farmhouses in different states or stuff like that.
Did you ask Jack Snyder or Tyler De Silva to add you to the group chat?
No.
Did you ask anyone to add you to the group chat?
No.
And what was the tone of the group chat?
Not positive. It was just people talking shit to each other pretty much.
Did you participate in the group chat after you were added?
Yes.
What was the nature of your participation in the group chat?
Around the same time we were leaving Trumbull High School, I texted in
it. What did you say?
Do you recall how many texts you sent?
No.
Do you recall how many texts you received?
No.
This occurred while you were leaving Trumbull High School?
Around the same time, yeah.
Did there come a point when you realized that you were not going to another party in Trumbull?
Yes.
How did you come to realize that you weren't going to another party in Trumbull?
After driving for a little bit, Jack had turned down the music and I asked him where we were going.
And what did you learn from Jack at that point?
He said
Objection as to what he said.
Stating as to what Jack said.
I asked what he learned.
You just can't tell us what Jack said. Okay, it's what you learned upon speaking.
So what did you learn from Jack about where you were going or where he was driving the car?
We were going to a house in Shelton.
And do you recall what the address of the house in Shelton was?
43 Laurel Glen.
Was that an address that you had seen in the group chat?
Yes.
Was that an address that you were familiar with before having seen it in the group chat?
No.
Had you ever been to 43 Laurel Glen Drive before?
No.
Did you know whose home that was?
No.
Did you remain in the group chat?
No.
When you say no, did you leave the group chat?
Yes.
And how do you leave a group chat?
You click on the top, and then there's a little drop down that you can click leave.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
Why did you leave the group chat?
While they were going back and forth, there was a picture sent into the group chat.
What was that picture?
It was just a group of kids, and upon looking at the picture, I noticed that I recognized a few of the kids that were in the picture.
And how did you recognize those kids that were in the picture?
A couple of the kids, I wouldn't say I was friends with, but I had seen them at other parties, drank together, stuff like that.
Did you recognize any of those kids from 5 Lazy Brook?
I don't remember.
Did you understand that those were the same kids that were texting the address of 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
Yes.
Were those kids that you saw in that selfie kids from St. Joe's?
No.
Why did seeing that picture cause you to leave the group chat?
I don't want problems with people I'm like cool with.
Did Mr. Snyder continue to participate in the group chat?
Objection. He says he left, so how would he know?
If you know.
There's no foundation.
You could know, I just don't know. So I'll overrule it if you know.
At the time, I did not know.
Did you know if Mr. De Silva continued to participate in the group chat?
At the time, I did not know.
What were you doing at this point in the car?
Talking to Will. I think we were drinking. I can't really remember.
Where was Miss Traficante at this point?
Still on my lap.
And did anyone in the car indicate that they knew where Mr. Snyder was driving?
No.
Did Mr. Snyder appear upset to you?
A little bit.
When you say a little bit, what about his appearance indicated to you that he was upset?
At Trumbull High School, there was a few people like teasing him for basically losing.
Did Mr. De Silva appear upset to you in the car?
No.
Did Ms. Traficante appear upset to you in the car?
No.
Did Mr. Senjwald, Mr. Arfanis, or Mr. Frasick appear upset to you while they were in the car?
No.
Did you notice another car following your car?
No.
And did Mr. Snyder ultimately drive the car somewhere and stop?
Yes.
Did you recognize where that was?
No.
What did you see when the car stopped?
I saw a yard, and then kids started coming up to the car.
When you say you saw a yard, had you ever been to that house before?
No.
Did Mr. Snyder indicate to you that he knew the people that were at this house where you'd stopped?
No.
Did Mr. De Silva indicate to you that he knew the people at this house where he'd stopped?
I'm going to object at this point. It's leading, and it calls for almost like a hearsay response as to what they indicated to him.
I will fulfill it based on the form of the question.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Did you have any indication that Mr. Snyder or Mr. De Silva knew any of the folks that were at this house?
Definitely not Jack. I think maybe Tyler said something.
Do you see behind you an exhibit that's up there on the easel?
Yes.
And approach owner, just need a refresh on our
Okay, you cannot answer while facing that because we will not be able to hear a weird word you say. 52. What is it?
So on the easel behind you, Mr. Valle, is States Exhibit 52. Do you see that?
Yes.
And do you recognize that as the address which Mr. Snyder parked his car at?
At the time, you couldn't really see much, so now I'm...
Well, can you put us there? Describe for us what could you see when you arrived there?
I wasn't really looking around. The only thing I saw was kids coming up to the car.
How many kids did you see coming up to the car?
I want to say it was like rows of people. There was about 10. And then at the max, it was probably 30.
And what did these people that you saw do?
At first, I had my window rolled up. I didn't know if I saw anybody I knew. Jack started conversating. Tyler started conversating. And then I saw somebody I recognized.
Who did you recognize?
Ricky Fiola.
How did you recognize Ricky Fiola?
I've drank with him before at parties. Just hung out with him a couple times at parties that we were both invited to.
You say I've drank in?
And these people, did they stay on the driver's side of the vehicle?
No.
Where did they go?
All around the car.
Did they surround the car?
Yes.
Objection, leading.
Oh.
Did these people go in the front of the car?
Yes.
Did these people go on the passenger side of the car?
Yes.
Did these people go in the rear of the car?
Yes.
Did you feel surrounded by these people?
Yes.
Once these people were on all sides of the car, what did Jack Snyder do, if anything?
I couldn't really hear his conversation. I was having my own conversation. So at that time, nothing.
Where was Ms. Traficante at that point?
Still on my lap.
Okay. Did there come a time when she was no longer on your lap?
Only when we got out of the car.
Do you recall her climbing into the trunk area of the vehicle?
No.
Where was Mr. Sinjwald?
Still to my right.
Where was Mr. Arfanis?
Still in the trunk.
And where was Mr. Frasick?
Still on the rear passenger.
And the conversation that you've described Mr. Snyder as having, without telling us what he was saying, how would you describe the tone of that conversation he was having?
At first, it was fine. And then it got really aggressive.
What about it was really aggressive?
There was a few kids shouting at him.
A few kids?
Yes.
And what was, you've described Mr. De Silva as having a conversation. What was the nature of that conversation like?
It was also peaceful.
And did it remain peaceful?
Yes.
And you said you were having a conversation.
Yes.
Was that a peaceful conversation?
Yes.
Did that remain peaceful?
Yes.
Did you throw anything outside the window of your car?
No.
Did you see Mr. Snyder throw anything outside the car?
No.
Did you see Mr. De Silva throw anything outside the car?
No.
Did you see anyone inside your vehicle throw anything outside the car?
No.
Are you certain that people were on all sides of the vehicle?
Yes.
And you've described at least one of these conversations as taking a turn and becoming more aggressive. When you say more aggressive, you described yelling.
Yes.
And could you see the faces of the people that were outside the vehicle?
No.
Could you hear threats?
Not that I can remember.
Could you see people hitting the car?
Yes.
What did that feel like inside the car?
It's weird to describe. I've never been in a situation like that. They were just punching and kicking and hitting the car from everywhere.
On all sides of the vehicle?
Yes.
Could you tell if things were being thrown at the car?
At the time, all I heard was the banging and stuff.
Loud bangs?
Yes.
Did you hear glass shattering?
No.
When you got in the vehicle that evening with Mr. Snyder, Did you see a shatter in the windshield?
No.
Did you see Mr. Snyder with any weapons at that point?
No.
Could you see what was in Mr. Snyder's lap?
No.
Did you have a weapon?
No.
Did you have anything in your hands?
No.
Could you feel the car begin to rock?
Yes.
And did you see anybody on the rear bumper?
No, I didn't look backwards.
Did you begin to worry?
Yes.
Did you begin to feel unsafe?
I'm going to object. This is leading.
How were you feeling as the car was rocking and the hands were hitting the car and other things were hitting the car?
Nervous and a bit of panic.
You say a bit of a panic. Had you ever been that panicked before?
No.
Did you feel like you could get out of the car?
Objection, leading.
I'll allow that, but just keep an eye on the leading questions.
Why didn't you feel like you could get out of the car?
Because there were so many people surrounding the car.
Could you see the faces of the other people in your car?
The only face I remember looking at was Tyler.
What did Tyler's face look like?
Pretty scared.
Do you remember what Ms. Trafficante was doing at that point?
No, I don't remember.
Did it seem to you that the situation in the car was calming down?
No.
I'm going to...
It's a late objection, counsel, but I would have sustained the objection. I'll allow the answer to stand.
People send me the most random videos. I don't know why I got that one.
Had you ever been in a car before while it was being attacked?
No.
What is this? Thank you, I guess. On the dating scene. But...
What sorts of things did you worry about as you sat there with the car surrounded and being rocked?
Mainly that they were going to break the windows.
Why did you worry that they were going to break the windows?
Because they were punching them.
Did you worry that anything else might happen if they broke the windows?
At the time, I was just wondering why Jack wasn't driving.
Could you tell if the car was still on at that point?
Yes, it was.
How did you think it was going to end at that point?
Objection, that calls for speculation.
Those objections are so fast.
What did you expect was going to happen next?
I thought they were going to break the windows.
Did you have a plan if they did that?
No.
Anything about the demeanor of the people on the outside of the car lead you to believe that they were going to stop?
I'm going to object. That calls for speculation as well.
I'll overrule it.
No.
And did you see anyone in your car with a weapon at that time?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
At some point, did Jack finally move the car?
Yes.
And where did it go?
Straight.
Did you know where you were?
No.
Had you ever been in that neighborhood before?
No.
And did Jack ever stop the car?
Yes.
Could you see anyone outside the car when Jack stopped the vehicle?
No.
May I approach again, Your Honor? Take this one down from behind you. What you're looking at there is State's Exhibit 1.
Looking at the reflection of the
When
lights.
Jack stopped the vehicle, do you have the pointer there with you?
Yes.
Can you use that pointer to show us on State's Exhibit 1 where you remember him stopping the vehicle? Your Honor, can the record reflect that the witness has pointed to the area just before the intersection of Farmhouse Lane and Laurel Glen Drive in front of what has been identified before as 36 Laurel Glen Drive?
So noted on the record. Thank you.
And what did you do when Jack stopped the car?
My girlfriend at the time was crying and asking to get out.
Question is, what did you do when Jack stopped the car?
I got out.
That was a little.
Did it seem safe to get out at that point?
Yes.
Did you see anyone from the house that you had just left at that point?
No.
And where did you go when you got out?
Side of the road.
Can you show us on Exhibit 1 there which side of the road? May the record reflect, Your Honor, that the witness is pointing to the side of the road opposite from what has previously been identified as 36 Laurel Glen Drive.
So noted on the record. Thank you.
Across the street from the ring camera.
Did anyone
house.
else get out with you at that point?
Yes.
Who?
Tyler De Silva and my girlfriend at the time, Mackenzie.
Okay. Did anybody else get out?
No.
And when Mr. De Silva got out, where did he go?
At first, he was right next to me.
And when Ms. Trafficante got out, where did she go?
She went to the end of the road.
And so, in your recollection, the other occupants of Mr. Snyder's vehicle did not get out of the car?
No.
Where did Mr. Snyder drive the car at that point?
Straight.
Did you see where he went?
No.
Could you see any of the folks from 43 Laurel Glen Drive, the house that you had left?
No.
At some point, did you see any of those folks again?
Yes.
When was that?
When they came running down the road.
And what were they doing when you saw them come running down the road?
I believe screaming and just running.
Were they throwing anything?
Yes.
Do you recall what they were throwing?
I believe only one person threw like a water bottle.
Did it hit you?
No.
Did it hit anything?
I believe it hit the car, but I wasn't really looking.
Did you have any interactions with the kids from 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
Yes.
Who do you recall interacting with from 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
Tyler Rich and Ricky Fiola.
And when you were interacting with Tyler Rich, what was that interaction like?
At first, he just ran past me and chased the car until it fully drove off. And after that, they all kind of started walking away. He was kind of asking me to walk away.
Okay. Did you have any one-on-one interactions with Mr. Rich?
Yes.
What happened between you and Mr. Rich?
As he was walking away, he came up to me and sprayed WD-40 in my eye.
Did you do anything to him when he sprayed WD-40 in your eyes?
No.
Had you done anything to him prior to him spraying you in the eyes with WD-40?
No.
Did you see the can close enough to be able to identify it as WD-40?
Yes.
What did you do after he sprayed you in the eyes with WD-40?
I started holding my eye.
Did you attack him?
No.
Did you have a weapon on you at that point?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
What weapon did you have on you at that point?
I had a knife in my pocket.
Where did you get the knife from?
Before Jack left, he tossed it to me.
Okay, let's back it up a little bit. Before Jack left,
Yes.
when did Jack leave?
When he dropped off me, Mackenzie, and Tyler at the end of the road.
Before the Shelton High kids came?
Yes.
Put us there. Tell me how Mr. Snyder gives you this knife.
Mackenzie exited the vehicle. I got out right behind her, and then Tyler got out from the passenger. Me and Tyler were standing on the side of the road right before Jack's about to drive off. He says,
Objection as to what he says.
You can't tell us what anybody else says. You can tell us what they did.
He tossed a knife.
And what did you do when he tossed the knife?
At first, it hit me and then fell on the floor. I picked it up and said, "What are you giving me a knife for?"
And what did Mr. Snyder do at that point?
He said,
Objection. Hearsay.
Can't tell us what Mr. Snyder said.
Your Honor, I would claim it not for the truth of the matter so much as the effect on the listener.
I'll lay the foundation for that because I'm going to ask the jury to leave just to leave the jury.
Jury's going to leave. We're going to do a voir dire. See if this comes in. Defense is basically saying, Your Honor, we need this. And so we're going to say this is not for the truth of the matter asserted, for the effect on the listener. That's an exception to the hearsay rule. And she's like, well, I'm not sure about that. Instead of letting the jury hear it and tainting the jury with an answer that they can't really withdraw, let's listen where the judge can weigh it and say yes or no, and then we'll reenact it with the jury here. So this will be quick.
All right, Attorney Smith, I ask the jury to exit because, as we've often stated with our phrase that we like to use, because we can't, it's difficult to unring the bell. So you're claiming this as not being offered for the truth of the matter. I'll see an offer of proof on that outside the presence of the jury.
Your Honor, he's just described what sounds like a surprising, unplanned event, and somebody has just thrown a knife at him, he claims. I'm not sure what he's going to tell us Mr. Snyder said to him at that point, but given the circumstances of the situation that he has described, I think it's important in a case where we're talking about what his intent was, in particular what his intent was with this knife, that we've already had other testimony about Mr. Snyder giving to him, and Mr. Snyder's version of what happened in that account. I think it's important to know what the effect was on him when he said this.
I don't know what he said. I know that the question was, why did you give me that, is what he asked.
Yes.
And then his response was starting with, he said.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what would be the effect on the defendant at that point in time?
Right. As far as understanding what he was thinking when Mr. Snyder gave him this and what Mr. Snyder is telling him as far as why he is giving that to him, I think in this situation and under these circumstances, again, whether or not it's true, whatever Mr. Snyder said to him, what the effect on him was.
Why don't you establish outside the presence of the jury right now what the effect was on the listener, the defendant, from hearing whatever the statement is before I make a decision, and then I'll be heard by the state.
You've told us that Mr. Snyder gave you.
Excuse me.
Make sure your cell phones are on silent, please. You've been asked repeatedly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bailiff, laying down the law.
You told us that you had just been thrown the knife by Mr. Snyder, and you asked him, what did you give me this for? Right?
Yes.
And you were about to tell us what Mr. Snyder's response was, correct?
Yes.
What was his response?
He said something along the lines of just in case, and then it's let off.
All right. And what effect did that have on you when he said just in case?
Confused.
Okay. And did that increase your sense of danger with the situation?
I'm going to object to that. He just said he was confused.
I'll sustain it. So the response was confused. I mean, if that's the effect on the listener that you're looking for, I'll hear from the state on that.
I don't think that it's even relevant at this point. If he's confused, he should just say, he could testify to whatever he's testifying to. And at that point, I felt confused. I don't think the statement of what Mr. Snyder says comes in for effect on listener at this point. And to me, I'm concerned with it. We're really bootstrapping here because we want to hear what he says Jack said for its truth. And that's the concern, right? So, Snyder testified. Defense counsel could have asked him what was said, and I believe he may have asked him what was said, and Mr. Snyder actually said no. The defendant asked him for the knife. So now we're getting into this bootstrapping of hearsay statements and trying to guise it under effect on listener. The response is what the response is. Now he felt confused, so to me, it doesn't come in for the effect on listener. That can be elicited without the hearsay response, Your Honor.
I have to agree. You can ask him how he was feeling at that point in time to extract from the witness that he felt confused. So the court is having a difficult time understanding the relevance of that particular hearsay statement. Court's going to sustain the objection to the hearsay statement.
Understood.
Thanks. Let me turn it back in.
Okay, so he does not get to say that the driver Jack threw him the knife and he said, "What's this for?" He can say, "I said, what's this for?" And then I was confused. So he gets the same result, but you don't get to hear the just in case. I think defense is happy with this. They get the confused part in, which shows that he doesn't understand what the knife was for or why he would have it.
I'm waiting on one. I'll take it. You can leave the door open, please. Thank you. Waiting on one door. Thank you. Counsel, please stipulate to the return of our jurors.
State will stipulate, Your Honor.
Defense stipulate, Your Honor.
Ordinance to tell of all jurors. I believe that when the jury left, the question for now is that was the response.
Okay. And how did you feel when he threw that knife to you?
Confused.
And what did you do with the knife?
Put it in my pocket.
Do you remember which pocket?
My right pocket.
And did you have that knife on you when Mr. Rich sprayed you with the WD-40?
Yes.
Did you at any point go into the bushes along the road there?
No.
You remained on the curb?
Yes.
Could you see where Mr. Snyder drove off to?
I just saw the car take off straight.
Did it go out of your field of vision?
Yeah, right as he sped off, I heard the kids screaming and running down the road. So I turned my attention to that.
And did there come a point in time when Mr. Snyder returned?
Yes.
And what happened when Mr. Snyder returned?
All the kids that ran down had already left. We came back and everybody got out of the car.
Other than the interaction with Mr. Rich, did you have an interaction with any of the other Shelton kids while you were down there on the side of the road?
Yes.
Who else was that?
Fiola.
And what was that interaction like?
He saw Tyler Rich spray me with the WD-40 and he came up to me.
This could explain why his shirt's over his head if he's wiping his eyes.
Did he do anything to you?
Just talk to me and I guess make me feel better about the situation.
When the vehicle came back, did Mr. Snyder park the car?
Yes.
Can you show us on Exhibit 1 behind you where he parked the car? May the record reflect he has indicated the witness has indicated on Exhibit 1 that Mr. Snyder parked the car in front of what's previously been identified as 36 Laurel Glen Drive.
I will go ahead and note that for the record. Thank you.
What did Mr. De Silva do at that point?
And Jack started inspecting the car.
And what did you do at that point?
I was still rubbing my eye.
What did the other occupants of the vehicle do at that point, if anything?
Mackenzie was still sitting in the same spot she was previously. I can't remember where Ayden and Dimitri were. I believe they were also standing by her.
Were you upset at that point?
Yeah.
What were you upset about?
I got sprayed with WD-40 for no reason.
Were you angry?
No, more confused on why he did it.
Did you know Tyler Rich prior to that?
Yes.
How did you know Tyler Rich prior to that?
Same as all the other kids I knew from Shelton. Seen him at parties, drank with them before.
But you'd never been to that house before?
No.
Did you know that that was Tyler Rich's house?
No.
Were you still scared at that point?
Yeah.
Were you more scared or more confused?
More confused.
What did you do next?
I walked over to where my girlfriend was sitting.
Where was she sitting?
The same spot at the end of the road on the curb.
And what was her demeanor like?
She was really upset.
Did you, at some point, go over to inspect the car?
No.
What did you do next?
I asked Mackenzie for a ride home from her sister.
And was her sister present?
No.
And what did you do after you asked her for a ride home with her sister?
I started waiting there.
Where were you waiting?
By my girlfriend and by the car.
Can you point out to us on the exhibit where that was? Had she remained in the same position during the course of these events at the end of the road that you've been describing to us?
Yes.
And what was she doing while she was waiting on the curb? Could you see?
She had her head down, like in between her legs, looking at her phone.
And what happened next?
Tyler and Jack started talking about going back.
Where were you at that point?
Close enough to hear them.
How far away?
Want to say 5 feet.
Away from them?
Yes.
And what happened next?
Tyler started saying...
Objection calls for hearsay.
Yeah.
Well, the answer seems as though it's providing hearsay, so I would know. The question was what happened next. So the objection to the extent that the witness is going to respond with what someone stated.
Your Honor, may I remind the witness that he can't tell us? So, again, listen to the nature of my question. Okay, you can't tell us what somebody else has said. Okay, so you were telling us what was happening at that point. Okay, can you tell us what you saw Mr. Snyder do?
Talk to Tyler De Silva.
Okay. And what was Mr. Snyder's demeanor like when he was talking to Mr. De Silva?
Agreeing with him.
Did he appear excited or upset or calm?
Couldn't really tell.
And Mr. De Silva, what did his demeanor appear like to you?
Confident.
I'm sorry?
Confident.
He appeared confident?
Yeah.
Mr. Valle, I don't mean to be rude, but do you understand the word demeanor?
Yeah.
How did his face appear?
He didn't really seem too worried.
Did Mr. Snyder appear not too worried as well?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point, did they get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Who got into the vehicle first?
Jack.
And did he get into the driver's side?
Yes.
And did Mr. De Silva get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Where did he get into the vehicle?
Passenger.
And did you ultimately get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Why did you get back into that vehicle?
I was asked to by Tyler.
Objection. I would ask that be stricken.
All right, so the jury, if you wrote that down, please remove it from your notepads. Court is striking the last response concerning he was asked by someone else, okay? So that does not qualify or classify as evidence in this case, all right? Thank you.
You just left your girlfriend? Why does it feel like this attorney
When you
does
got
not know
back
what
into
his
that
client's
vehicle,
about to say?
what were you thinking?
I trusted my best friend that everything was going to be okay and we were just going to go and make peace.
Did you understand that there was some plan to go and make peace in this situation?
I'm going to object. That's leading.
Sustained.
You've just said that you trusted your friend to make peace.
Yes.
Objection. He did not say that.
Yes, he did.
So I would ask that it be stricken. This is leading.
All right, so I will strike the response, which was yes. Sustaining the objection.
You got back into that vehicle last.
Yes.
Where did you get back into that vehicle?
Behind the driver.
Behind the driver?
Yes.
And did you still have the knife on you?
Yes.
Was it open?
No.
Where was it?
Still in my pocket.
Still in your right pocket?
Yes.
Did you have your hand in the pocket?
No.
I can still see this coming together well, but
Were you
it's a
scared to
weird
get back in
delivery.
that car?
A little bit.
Where did you think the car was going to go?
Back down to the house.
Did you think that was a good idea?
At the time, few interactions had already been peaceful here and there. So it didn't seem like the worst idea in the world at the time.
You understood
Strike
that
that.
Ms. Trafficante was not going to be getting back in that car?
Yes.
Did you think it was a good idea to leave her there?
Yes.
Why?
There was other people with her, and her sister was on the way.
Were you upset or angry as you got into that car?
I'm going to object. It's asked and answered.
At the time that he got into the car, I don't believe that we've been to that location yet, so I'll overrule it.
Can you repeat the question?
When you got back into that car, were you upset or angry?
No.
Not about your eyes being sprayed with WD-40?
No.
And did Jack Snyder drive the car back to 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
He did.
What was that drive there like?
Nobody said anything.
Was the music on?
No.
Was it a fast drive?
Short.
I can't remember.
And did Jack Snyder ultimately stop his car at the same house as before?
Yes.
Did you see any people in the yard?
Yes.
How many?
At first, they were far back in the yard, so I want to say 10.
You say at first they were far back in the yard. Were there any on the curb or near the street?
No.
And you could see 10 people in the yard?
Oh, yeah.
Did you recognize any of those people?
No.
Did they remain where they were?
Yes.
What did Tyler De Silva do when the car stopped?
He opened his door and got out.
What did Jack Snyder do when the car stopped?
Nothing.
Where did Tyler De Silva go when he got out of the car?
As soon as he got out, he started walking onto the lawn.
Walking?
Yes.
Not running?
No.
Did you stay in the car?
No.
What did you do?
As soon as Tyler got out, I got out.
Why?
It's my friend. I knew a couple people there. I was just going to help ease the situation, I guess.
Where was the knife?
In my pocket.
Did you have your hand on it?
No.
Where did Tyler De Silva go as you were following him out of the car?
We started walking up the yard.
May I approach Your Honor?
We had prior testimony that he got sprayed in the face with PB Blaster.
Behind you on the easel is State's Exhibit 52. I'd ask you to use that
from a state's
pointer
witness.
that you have and show us where you saw the initial 10 kids in the yard.
It's kind of out of the frame.
Out of the frame?
Yeah.
But you could see them from where the car parked?
Yeah.
Where did Jack Snyder park the car? When you got out of the vehicle, was there anything blocking your path to the yard?
I got out from this side, so no.
You got out from the driver's side?
Yeah.
And walked around the car?
Yeah.
So when you got out of the car, did you lose sight of Mr. De Silva?
For a second or two.
So you came following behind him?
Yeah.
And where did Mr. De Silva go when he got out of the car?
We started walking up the yard.
Can you show us his path of travel?
Got out right here. There was a car here, so we went.
And he went onto the grass?
Yes.
And where did he go once he got on the grass, if anywhere?
I met him around this area, and we started to walk up, and we were approached by somebody right here.
Did you get up to where the red bush is?
No.
Did you get up to where the black truck is?
No.
Did you get any further than where the tree is in the middle of Exhibit 52?
Yes.
Where did you get up to?
Probably around right here.
And so you got just past where the tree is?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
After we were approached by the first person, which was a girl, she moved out of the way, and then we were approached by Tyler Rich and a whole bunch of other people.
And how many people were you approached by that included Tyler Rich?
At first, they were all in front of us. I'd say it was about 30 people spread out in a line almost.
Okay. And when you met Mr. De Silva on the grass as you came around the car, did he indicate to you in any way that he was surprised that you had followed him?
No.
Did he indicate in any way to you that he did not want you to follow him?
No.
You told us that you recognized Tyler Rich as one of the people that had approached you.
Yes.
Did you recognize anyone else?
No.
Did the people, you've described them as being in sort of a line, did they stay in one area?
No.
What did they do?
Shortly after we were both in our own conversations, they started to surround us.
And you say you were both in your own conversations. Do you mean Mr. De Silva and yourself?
Yeah.
How close were you standing to Mr. De Silva when you were confronted by these other folks?
At first, we were right next to each other.
You say at first. Did there come a time when you got separated?
Yeah.
And so who or how many people was Mr. De Silva engaged with?
At first, we were all talking to the same amount of people. And then after a little while, when I looked to my left, there was a wall of people blocking me from Tyler.
Okay. Let's break it down a little bit. You've said at first you could see Mr. De Silva was talking to the same amount of people as you were.
Yeah.
How many people was Mr. De Silva talking to?
Directly, 10. There was a lot of kids around though.
And was he talking to any one person in particular?
Yes.
Who was that, if you know? Okay.
Tyler Rich.
Were there other people with Mr. Rich?
Yes.
How close were they standing to Mr. Rich?
Side by side.
He described them as forming a wall.
Yeah.
And how many people were you engaged with at that point?
Before or after they surrounded me?
Let's take it frame by frame. You've described Mr. De Silva talking with a group of people, and you said you were talking with a number of people as well. At that point, how many people were you engaged with?
I was directly talking to about 4 to 5 people.
And how many people, were there people behind them?
Right next to them.
Were they shoulder to shoulder?
No.
And where were these people positioned, if you can show us on the exhibit there?
I was about 300. They were right here. Right here.
And did they stay just in front of you?
No.
What did they do?
They started to surround me.
Did you have, how were you wearing your shirt at this point?
Normally.
Did you ever at any point pull it up over your head?
No.
Where was the knife at this point?
In my pocket.
Did you have your hands in your pockets?
No.
How were you feeling at this point?
Nervous.
Why were you feeling nervous?
Because there was a lot of people just surrounding me.
About to get some emotion.
Yes, sir.
I just want to just give you a heads up that it's 4:45. Do you have a few additional questions, or is this a good time to break?
If Your Honor is inclined to take a break, I suppose this is as good a place as any to take one.
All right. Court's going to go ahead and move towards adjourning for the day, so I'm going to interrupt the direct testimony of before I do actually adjourn on the record. Once again, I'll remind ladies and gentlemen of the jury to continue to abide by the code and all that our conduct rules. Again, please don't discuss the speak with anyone. And once again, there's been a lot of media attention. Please try to avoid that attention and avoid others trying to speak to you about this particular case. There have been multiple locations that have been mentioned. Do not go to any of those locations. Do not attempt to perform any of your own experiment or research or investigation into any of the issues that have arisen during this trial. Thank you so much. And we're going to notebooks behind. Have a good evening, and we'll see you back for tomorrow.
There we go. The story's different. Here's what we know. We knew about WD-40 and PB Blaster. We've had 2 witnesses that testified before defense even started their case that brought up PB Blaster. One puts the can of PB Blaster there. One even said that somebody sprayed him with it, right? So his testimony is corroborated by the state's own witness that he was sprayed in the face. He's told us now that the knife, he never asked for it. He never rummaged around for it. It was given to him. The jury doesn't know this, but it was given to him just in case by the driver, and he put it in his pocket. And he's like, well, what do you mean? Now he's given an explanation of why he left his girlfriend. I believe that checks out. He was okay with leaving her because there were other people there, and the sister was like just right around the corner. She came like soon afterwards, right? It only took her a couple minutes to get there. Yeah, but he heard all that. He knew to say stuff that the witnesses said. Okay, well, that's like next level. If you think that he's creating this story and weaving this together, if that's the case, it will crumble on cross-examination when the prosecutor gets up there. You've got to be like I don't know, a true crime savant to be able to do this live in court under this pressure with your name and your life on the line, to be able to put this story together and keep it together. I think the fact that other people testified to the same thing gives it a lot of weight. But the WD-40 incident was before the big fight. Why go back if you were sprayed in the face? He says he was confused about it. I don't know. I thought he was going to say his shirt was pulled up and he was still wiping his eyes. WD-40 is a massive irritant for your eyes, or PB Blaster. You don't want either one of those. You don't want them on your skin, let alone on your eyes. I am waiting. I want to hear this. I want to hear the answer as to what actually happened. Oh, man, we have to wait till tomorrow. I cannot believe that. They literally went back to the house. They were allowed, but with a knife in his pocket this time, right? But he didn't know why the knife was in his pocket, according to his testimony. He's like, I don't know why I have this. Whatever. I'm holding the driver's knife for him. And they go back to talk it over. And they go back and they start talking. That's the biggest thing for me. When they go back, everybody on both sides says they were just talking. And then it got heated. They were just talking. So it wasn't that he went back and he was, brought the knife out and he's ready to start stabbing and, somebody sprayed me in the face and you're all going down. They went back and they started talking. And then everyone that's testified said that he made a movement, like he flinched, and they just lit into him both. I can see a self-defense argument here, at least for the initial fight. Not so sure about the murder charge, though. That one still looks pretty tough for him to overcome. It looks bad. No, he did not go back for the knife. Even the prosecution admits that he had the knife in his pocket the whole time. The reason why they have to admit that is because 3 people were stabbed before he went back to the car. They were stabbed when he was on the ground. That's why you have low. You've got arm, because they're reaching down and fighting when he's on the ground. You've got arm injuries and you've got lower body injuries on people's thighs and legs. He's on the ground when he's stabbing there. It's only the last one with Jimmy that you've got that chest wound right near the heart. Oh man. I wish they hadn't broke yet. He was ready to lose it. Yeah, this is going to be emotional. And of course, his defense attorney, let me just stop for a minute. It's a bad idea to make it look like you've never talked to your client before as a defense attorney. And it's a terrible idea to do it in front of a jury. Excuse me, client, I'm your attorney. We've never met before, have we? Okay, I've got a few questions for you in front of the jury. If you'll just keep your voice up. Do you know what demeanor means? I mean, I don't mean to be like rude. Do you know what the word demeanor means? What in the world? Oh. I mean, I know they haven't talked during trial. Like the two don't. They're not like. It's not like Karen Reed and her team where every huddle she's in the middle. But just like the response we get from Mr. Smith is like he tells the judge, I have no idea what he's going to say. I'm about to ask a question. I was asking a question in front of the jury of my client, and I have no clue what he's going to say. What? Who does that? Never. Dear jury, please understand my client is confused and doesn't know what demeanor means. It looks bad. I agree. The intent, I don't think the intent has been proven very solidly. I think it can be implied. I think there's plenty of circumstantial evidence that a jury could, look at the evidence in such a way that they could imply the intent. And I think, circumstantial evidence can prove intent. I think that's what I'm trying to say. That's a better way to say it. And I think that's there. I have to wait till tomorrow. We're just getting some answers in this case, and we're starting to put it together. I don't know if he's telling the truth. I really don't. Here's what I believe. I believe that if you're sitting on the back seat in the back seat of a car and your girlfriend's on your lap, you're not paying attention to almost anything that's going on in the car. You're not following conversations about the game or anything with people up front. I think teenager, backseat, girlfriend on the lap, he's distracted. I think he's distracted is what it is. Shirt over the head or not over the head? He says no. And that surprised me. That surprised me. So because so many people have mentioned it. So many people said he had his shirt pulled up over his head. He's like, hey, we're here to see who was it? I don't know. Ayden somebody. Okay, thanks for the funny videos. A couple of you sent some funny videos. One not so funny, but completely unsolicited. Thank you for that. The peacock one was great, though. I like the peacock. I think you guys are trying to keep me awake, but what intent? 2 boys against 30. Intent to do what? I don't see the logic at all. The intent, legally, intent is probably one of the hardest things to understand, because we're looking at the situation and saying, yeah, but did he go back there did he hop in the car and say, okay, Jack, drive us back there with the intent to kill Jimmy? And everyone's, no, obviously no. But intent can be formed in an instant. It can be like, I've got a knife in my hand, I'm going to thrust it out. That's enough time. That's enough time for intent. And so it can be very narrow there. Yeah, that's exactly how they described it. It was just like Beavis and Butthead. Don Julio. 2 Raul's is crazy. It's not common. I would say it's more common to see a family that has 2 children but the same name when one of them has passed. That is, I've seen that more often. But having 2 kids with the exact same name at the same time from the same parents, that's less common. Oh my goodness. The name's so nice. We're using it twice. But it makes sense. It checks out that it's an ancestor. Katie214, member for 17 months. Welcome to the gallery. Thank you for the party logo. Party. We can do a little party. Happy 17 months. That's just great. Let's see. Will you save it or should we watch it now? Well, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let me take a quick peek. I got one in mod chat. I might try to get it right now. Hold tight. Do you guys want one more video today before we wrap up for the day? Let's see what we have. The answer is always yes. And it's not like I have a bathroom to work on. Just kidding. It's not completely done. I still need to do some work to get the sink finished and all the trim around the bottom. And there's some more things. But the toilet's in place and it works. It functions. Search. Thurston County District Court 3. All right. Let's see what we got here. District Court 3. Civil Protection Order. Oh, these are the best. Civil Protection Order calendar. Case starts at 37 and 35 seconds. Okay, we've got a bonus. We've got a bonus today only. We're going to do it. You guys ready for this? We're going to take a break now that the court in Connecticut is on break till tomorrow. We're going to take a little break so that we can release some of this anticipation that we've got built up waiting for this witness to testify. I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat listening to him testify. I've said all along, he's got to take the stand, Now he's doing it. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's he going to say? So anyway, we're gonna jump up to a little court, which we have been to before. They have some crazy people. Tumwater Troy knows where we're going. It's his backyard. We're going to Thurston County, Washington, to listen in to let's see right here. This guy right here.
One more chance. I've got one more hearing to do here. So this next case is going to be Meyer versus Adams.
Meyer versus Adams. That name sounds familiar. Who's that? Who is this?
So Miss Meyer and Miss Adams, right? Okay. I've got two cases with you both here. So in the first one, Miss Meyer has asked for a contempt finding for violations of a previously granted order. And then it looks like Miss Adams has filed her own independent petition subsequent to that. And the hearing on that is set for today. I'm going to handle these kind of at the same time.
Oh, goody.
Both here.
Oh, goody.
So I'll just hear what you both have to say and make a decision on both issues, the contempt issue that's been raised and on whether or not there's going to be an additional order granted. Okay. Makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. The contempt issue is a little bit different than the hearings that you've seen happen up to now this morning, but it's also similar. So just sort of to frame that up, Ms. Meyer has brought allegations that Ms. Adams has engaged in conduct that violates the restraint provisions of the anti-harassment order that was issued earlier. And she's asking the court to make a finding that that occurred and to issue a contempt order. So that's a little bit different than granting an order, but the standards of proof are basically the same. So, all right, I'm going to have both of you raise your right hands, please. Do you each swear that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. I do.
All right, so Ms. Myers, I'm going to let Ms. Meyer, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. So I had filed a anti-harassment, I want to say it was like May 19th now, and I had it granted. And since like right after that, a lot of things escalated to the point where I've had to talk to my landlord and I've had to call law enforcement. Law enforcement has been a bit harder because when I've contacted them, they've told me several times that my anti-harassment order wasn't served. So then I've had to call the court to get it to like verify, to say like the law enforcement is saying that my anti-harassment isn't served, and they're telling me it has been served, we have sent it. So then they've had to contact law enforcement again to say like this has been served, and then I've had to call law enforcement to like confirm and say the court has called you and sent you that this anti-harassment has been served. And because that was such an issue for me to even get like figured out, there have been multiple times where Cindy has violated my anti-harassment. And according to the cops, each time that I call them is an isolated time. So it's like I can't refer to it again. So it's like something has happened and I've had it on video where she's contacted me like directly. I can't like call them again and say like, now can you help me because of my anti-harassment? It's been more along the lines of them coming and say like, first they were like, you need to get video proof because it was more verbal. So I understood that. I was like, okay then. So then I would have video and then they would say, well, now I don't have anything here that says that your anti-harassment served. So it's just kind of been an ongoing thing. So like the next step, I talked to a lawyer. The next step was like contempt. And they said just to give the information that I had. There have been incidents where she's yelling and screaming outside my door to the landlord. And I had a video of that, but the lawyer said because it wasn't directed at me that it wouldn't be something that would
the lawyer said
that I could show the court. But I wanted to show it just because I wanted you to hear like how she talks and how she's screaming at like someone, even the landlord.
No, that's a crime. Don't play it.
There have just been like situations where the maintenance, even my landlord has come to me and said that she said these things about them to the point where I'm like, that's how it is for me, where she's doing harassment to me directly. In my in the evidence that I sent you, there's videos, or not videos, of also photos of her trying to break into the laundry room where the knob and the lock have been completely broken out. And I've called the landlord, and he's even verbalized and said, oh, she told me she was going to do this, and I can't believe that she did it. And so then he took access of the laundry room from her because she messed with the like construction of the vent, and she's like screwing things. And so he took that away from her, and I feel like that kind of escalated it. But mostly it's been just about me, my home. I feel like anxious even being here. My landlord has given me keys to another property that he has, that when I'm not feeling safe, I could stay there. I can't live there because it's the property he's selling, but he has given me keys because he knows I have my son, and he knows how like unstable she is, because he doesn't want me to be around it. It's been like an ongoing thing. The landlord has verbalized to me that he is working on like an eviction, because even this harassment has gone to the point to him as well, because this has nothing to like pertain to my case, but I just want to say it because it also like shows her unstable behaviors, because he came to me after talking to her and said that she's implying to him that she was going to say that he touched her inappropriately when he didn't. So it's just been like an ongoing thing all the way around. And for me, it's just been like, I'm trying to keep my son in a stable and safe environment. Luckily, all the times that she's done stuff, my son has not been present, and I've been able to have him with his dad, or I've been able to have him at that property just to make sure that he's not here when she's like yelling or there's something going on or the cops are here. But it's been like a situation where it's just caused so much anxiety, and I don't even feel like calm or safe like in my home. So it's mostly about like having my son here. And I feel like in the last month and a half, he has barely even been here because I don't want him around this environment.
All right. Well, let me hear from you, Mrs. Adams, both on the issues that Ms. Myers brought up about potentially violating the order, and about your own petition for an order against Ms. Myers.
Could I ask you first, because I did go over the what was filed on both the cases last night, and I didn't see the police reports. Did you see any of that? Because that's kind of like what I'd like to focus on, if I may. I can provide you with a copy so we could follow along a little bit, and I'll try to go through this pretty quickly.
Who is Todd? Is he the landlord?
Reports?
Yeah.
I missed that. Is
Have
Todd
you
the
given
landlord?
those to Ms. Meyer?
Yes, it's all been.
Let me see what you have here.
It's all been filed. I highlighted.
You might have filed those. I've got two cases I've got to take a
Yeah,
look
I didn't
at
see
here.
it myself, and I searched and I didn't see videos of where she's saying I contacted her directly, which I haven't, and the landlord verified that I had not as well in one of the conversations.
How does the landlord know that you haven't?
I just would like to go over each one of these a little bit briefly.
Lacey police reports.
Todd just showed up with paperwork.
All right, let's see. Ms. Meyer, did you get these Lacey police reports? Well, they're not really police reports. They're abstracts of
Yeah,
calls.
I seen like some of them. It's showing that like the police officers came here and like verbalized, but it's not showing. I'm not really understanding like how that really pertains to like me, because it pertains to me, but I just don't. I read them, but I'm not really seeing like.
Well, my question isn't whether you agree with them or think there's any merit to them, just whether you know about them. Have you had notice of these?
I've seen the ones that are in the documents that she served me.
Okay. I don't see those here.
Judge, I'm trying to give you room and you keep leaning over. How small do I have to make myself? Do I have to be up in the middle? Should I go in the middle? go up here. I'm stepping on the flag. Don't want to do that either.
Aha, I found them. Okay. So yes, you did file these. They're in your petition, and now I found them. So, okay, mystery solved.
Now I'm going to be over.
I have extra copies. You can go
No,
on.
that's fine. I mean, I appreciate
Were you
that.
able to go over them, or we could go
Yeah,
over?
these are just CAD logs. These are recordings that the 911 center makes that sort of outline the basis of the call and who responded, and sort of like a skeleton version of events, and then the disposition. So yeah, they're not really police reports so much as they're just sort of documentation of contacts and actions taken by law enforcement, taken by the 911 dispatch center at TCOM. So yeah, I'm very familiar with these. I know exactly what they are.
I'd like to be a little more specific on the charges or the accusations. So Bianca was granted a protection order on May 19th.
Yes,
and
we saw that.
May 24th, it started.
It hit
With
the fan.
her calling the police. Yeah, I was doing my laundry and I did it up till midnight. But she called dispatch and told them I was yelling and pounding outside. And the officer came and she said she had a video of me making excessive noise. And I was just doing my laundry, and he listened to the video, and he made a comment here that that there was nothing unusual about, that he could barely hear on her video of me opening and closing the machines. He also noted that there was no sign of malicious intent. Basically, what
Welcome,
I
Broken
perceive
Baker
is
and
happening
friends.
here now
Bakers.
is because this went on for a week. It was every single day. I would go to the store and I come home and I was greeted by two police officers at the end of my driveway over the knob in the laundry room. The day after, or I think it was the day after the next day, she was so upset about Officer Gutierrez not arresting me because I was taking so long to do my laundry, that the next day in the report that's, I'd use the last three numbers of the police event, 020, she called him. She called and got him. He was working at the time, Officer Gutierrez, same officer that came up, and demanded, it says she demanded that I have have Cindy arrested. And then he goes on to say, then, and he just responded that she was just doing her laundry, and that he doesn't hear anything on the video of anything but that. And then she wanted to speak to his supervisor. It seems to me that he was, I can't say how another person feels, but he went on the next page to that and said he's going to write a report and refer it to the prosecutor because of not my actions, but her actions, demanding that he have me arrested for doing my laundry late at night, which is not uncommon for either one of us. We live in an odd situation with the houses. This has been divided up into a duplex. Then let me see. So the thing with the vent, I mean, she's gone so far as to accuse me of there's a vent, it's a hole in the laundry room, and she's gone so far as to say that I took the vent off and I was peering through her house while she's sleeping on the couch, and she just suddenly wakes up and sees me staring at her. I mean,
she didn't
I
see
don't
me.
even know what to say about that. I did try to cover the vent because the officer had told, I'm sorry if I get a little loud. I get a little loud when I get upset. But the officer had told me she was using the vent that goes into the laundry room. It is on the other side of her wall is a kitchen. And unfortunately for her, that the laundry room is she could hear the sounds more into her kitchen. than the way the house is situated. I'm further back. So I don't hear it as much. Occasionally I do, but if the buzzer or something, but for her, you could hear it. So, I mean, it was twofold or more than that I even covered it up, but she didn't like the idea that I covered it up. I covered that vent up because she was using it to videotape me. You know, this is the privacy of my home, even though we shared the laundry room. She went so far as to have her friend, Tristan Chapin, come over and tear off the frame of the door, which is the door to my entrance into the laundry room. Hers is from her kitchen. We have separate doors. And that door has a lock on my side, keeping her from entering my unit and me vice versa. So her not liking that I took so long to do my laundry and whatever she thinks she went on to say I was harassing her because I'd taken so long. I was washing everything. But mostly because the officer wouldn't arrest me the next day for that she went so far as to have called her friend over and he tore the door frame off on this side and used it of my door and used it to board up the door so I couldn't gain entrance into the laundry room. In the meantime, it was anyway, we talked about the vent thing. So there was a point so I was texting the landlord and he said that he would, because the landlord did come over at some point. He came over and him and I, as soon as he pulled up, she comes running out. I'm by my car. I'm walking out the door, but I'm still by my car. And I have not made any contact with her whatsoever. I have done my best not to. She has tried to antagonize me. She has tried to coerce me into situations to talk to her. I don't even know why she has a protection order. The very next day, this happened on Saturday with the laundry. The very next day on Sunday, I'm out washing she has a garbage can, as she assigned me this garbage can, and she has this one. And I'm cleaning my garbage can. This was the very next day. It only took her 4 days to take that protection order and use it to harm me with, and I knew that she would. So I'm out I'm cleaning my garbage can out, and I'm washing my car. And she comes out, she pretends to she's going to put something in her trash like this. And then she walks over, and it's so petty, it's ridiculous. She walks over, she's looking at me, and I'm standing by my car, and I'm getting ready to wash my car because I rinsed out the can, but I have some trash next to the can because I was still working on that. And she walks over, she looks at me, and she grabs she is like this. And she's watching me the whole time, and she grabs the tip of the garbage bag and goes like this. And like as if there's this invisible line, and don't cross it on the gravel. So for somebody that's so fearful of me, why are you putting yourself in harm's way? If I'm such you think I'm going to do something, but you come out and you stand there, you're not 10 feet from me. She did the same thing with her son. She sent her son out to play ball in the driveway, and I've lived there for 15 months now, and she's lived there a couple months longer. And the situation is the house has been divided, and I'm in the back, and she's up here in the front. And the driveway is, yes, she uses it because she has a parking space here, but I mainly use it because I have to go here, and nobody is allowed to park in the driveway. It was stated from the beginning by the landlord, though she had tried to do that
in the driveway
at the beginning, and she has not done it since. Once I told her I don't want to be blocked in, but that went on to another story here. But so I felt she said, from what I could tell, I hear her son out bouncing the ball in the driveway, and I'm inside, and I'm not going to go outside because the protection order has his name on it too. And so I have a window right there. And so the curtain's open a little bit. And I noticed her cat was laying in a planter box, which, I don't care about the cat, that's what they want to do. And so I saw the boy, and he waved at me. And one thing, he's never played out there in the 15 months I've been there. And he's never waved to me. And so, but I could tell he was about 10 feet behind my car. And so she has this little strip of sidewalk. And I could tell by the way he was acting, he was taking his orders, I don't want to say orders, but instructions of how to act with me, because he would look over her and then look over. I couldn't see her, but you could tell when somebody's interacting with somebody else. And so, but for him to wave, because I felt that she told him to go out there, and actually, I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but to wave at me because she's calling the police every single day over petty stuff, and they're saying she hasn't violated her order. She's calling the police back and saying, well, what does she got to do to violate her order? Can I help her? She's trying to help me violate the order. That's where the coercion comes in. And as far as cars, this picture car, she had her friend parked right behind me.
I've got photos.
At 9 o'clock at night. I want to go to the store before they close. And she's saying, and yes, I did honk to have her come out. She never did come out, and police had to come. But the police are, so what I believe is happening here is she is using the courts to try to get me arrested and to turn around, and because the police are saying she hasn't done anything wrong. There's no intent. There's 3 times for sure in these police reports that the police are saying no. So she says, oh, well, okay, I can't get them to do it. Maybe I can get the judge to do it. And then by that, she's going to go back and she's going to tell the landlord, okay, he's going to have her arrested. Now let's get her evicted. And it even mentions that she had that conversation with a police officer getting her evicted. She's telling them, she's telling the police, it's all written in here. She's telling the police what she's going to do. I'm going to make it, she tells one police, I'm going to make it where she doesn't have access to the laundry room. She's telling them beforehand. And they said, I'm going to make it where she gets evicted. So that's the gist of everything that's been going on.
There you go,
for
Judge.
that last week. I mean, this has been going on a little bit longer.
Now we have the background. Get to the good part.
And I apologize. I am very nervous, and I feel like I'm in lockdown in my house. I've been scared to death. I talk to my daughter about it all the time. I talk to my brother who lives in Florida about it all the time. And I've got my curtains closed. I'm afraid to go out in my car, and she's got, watching me all the time. And anything that she has, I'm gonna lower my voice, anything that you may have read in there, because I have gone over some things, she has submitted, she says videos, and my restraining order, though it's temporary, and I'm seeking a more permanent one, says that she cannot continue to videotape me. Well, but she keeps saying I'm videotaping her. So anything that she has presented to the court that's you're reading about, I've looked at the dates that she's talking about, and they're before my restraining order of May 19th. But she's what I see her doing too is misleading. She's misleading the police. She's lied to Officer Paul, saying that I made contact. I looked for that video. She was saying that I made direct contact. I want to see that. Anyway, I have said, no, right. I have not made direct contact. I have tried to avoid her.
Like I said, I understand, and I think you're kind of hitting the point where you're repeating things that you've already said, and so it might be time to
stop.
Just stop here.
Mm-hmm. Stop.
All right, stop. I'm going to tell you my ruling on both things. First of all, the contempt on the 25-133. I don't think contempt has been proved here. There's not a substantial basis to find factually that there were intentional violations of the order. I went back and reviewed the order, and the prohibitions have not been violated as far as what I can find here based on the filings, based on the testimony. I'm not satisfied by a preponderance of the evidence that occurred. So I'm going to deny the motion for contempt And then the petition under 25-160 to issue an order basically in the other direction. I'm going to deny that as well. I know that there's difficulties introduced into this relationship by the fact that an anti-harassment order exists, but a person making reports of violations of an order and calling the police is not going to serve as the basis for harassment. So Ms. Adams, I'm not going to do that. Now, you have the right, Ms. Adams, to request the court by filing a motion to do this, to review or rescind the order that was issued on May 19th. That's not before the court right now, so I'm not making any rulings on that.
No, could you tell me again why you're not? Your Honor, she's not going to leave me alone. I've been a nervous wreck. I can't take anymore. I want her to stay on her side, and I will stay on my side. Please don't talk to me. Don't have nothing to do with me. Now I have to go out to the laundromat all the time. I have a broken wrist that's still trying to heal. And to have to lift all the laundry, it costs $150 a month, which the landlord is having to pay because of her selfishness. But Your Honor, if I don't have, because she has the restraining order, so she has or thinks she has the upper hand. I don't know how I've not proven that she has not harassed me since she got that restraining order. She's going to keep coming after me. So what is it I didn't prove?
You have to prove by preponderance of the evidence that harassment occurred, and that has not been done, particularly by showing that she's attempted to have the anti-harassment order enforced. You find that disagreeable, but that doesn't serve as the basis to prove that she's engaged in a pattern of harassment. That is
calling the police on me every single day. Calling the police on me every single day is not harassment.
Now, like I said, the order itself, the order that was issued earlier, I believe that by Judge Meyer, you can ask the judge to review that if it's having consequences that he needs to be aware of to make modifications to the order. If you file a motion like that, the court may very well consider it.
Let me write that down. Okay, tell me again so I can write down, because I'm not going to remember
so I can
it.
file this.
And directly to him?
No, to the court.
But not. Okay, what do I say now?
I'm not going to tell you what to say.
No,
I'm just
I know.
telling you that there is a procedure by which you can ask the court to review an order that's been issued and make modifications to it. You just have to make the request and support it in writing, and the judge will determine whether that merits a hearing.
So, well, I don't know why I'm not getting this. Review an order that's been issued. I don't have an order now. It's my temporary order.
The order that was issued in 25-133, the one that restricts you, if
Right.
those restrictions are causing you problems, you can ask the judge to review that. Okay.
Bianca's not happy because this would get rid of the little thing she won last time.
All right, so I've denied the order under 160. I've denied the contempt under 133. There are no written findings to accompany the denial of contempt under 133. That's done on the record orally. There's a written motion denying the petition under 160.
Your Honor, can I say something?
He's like, I wish you wouldn't.
All right, what would you like to say?
There was also another order that she tried to serve on me that was a not the anti-harassment that she was trying to serve on me. There's another one where she tried to serve like contempt. Is that also getting dismissed? Because she's saying that
I don't have that in front of me for a hearing, so I don't know what you're referring to, but the only action that's been taken is what I referred to.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Ms. Adams, these are your copies here, and that'll conclude your hearings for today.
Okay.
All right, now let's see if we can get Mr. Simmons back. I see you've logged back in there, Mr. Simmons. Can you turn on your microphone?
Mr. Simmons is like, what did I just watch? Mr. Simmons, get a little closer.
Yeah, there you go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, now I can hear you. I can see you. And I've got Mr. Huffman here who's been patiently waiting. So we're going to take this one up. Again, this is 24-201. Okay, and as I said earlier, but you weren't here to hear that, Mr. Simmons, this is Mr. Huffman's motion to renew the previously granted anti-harassment order that's set to expire here in a little more than a week. So Mr. Huffman's asking the court to extend that order in its current form for longer. So before I go any further with that, Mr. Simmons, do you have any objection if the court were to extend that order for longer?
Yeah, I should have been the one that been granted an order against him. Him and all the surrounding neighbors that live around me, they're constantly harassing me since day one, since I moved in 5 years ago.
What's in the water up
targeted
there, guys?
individual.
Let's refocus here a little bit, Mr. Simmons. I need you to understand the court's not reviewing whether that order should have been issued in the first place. That is a hearing that's been held, done, and decided. That's all in the past. So that's a closed issue. It's done. The issue is the court going to extend that order any further than July 8th? That's the issue before the court.
I hope not.
So I'm asking you if you care if it's extended or not, and it sounds like you do. So yeah, the burden, it's a little bit different than an initial petition or these other cases that you've heard today. There's a presumption that the order will be renewed unless the respondent, that's you, Mr. Simmons, shows by a preponderance of the evidence that acts of harassment are unlikely to occur in the future. So since that burden's on you, Mr. Simmons, I'm going to hear from you first, and then if necessary, I'll hear from Mr. Huffman. So can I have you both raise your right hands, please? And Mr. Simmons, do both of you swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Okay, Mr. Yes. Simmons, on the issue of whether the order should be extended for additional time, what would you like to tell me?
Pacific Northwest.
I don't find it necessary. And I would like to be able to go in that direction down that street because I'm an outdoorsman and I'd like just to have access to the mountain there. And with that in place, I can't. I used to be a cyclist and I'd like to be able just to ride my bike up and down the road, and we live on a dead end road and I can't even do that. But
which road is that?
I'm not a person. It's Fennel Road.
That's a dead end road?
Yeah, it just runs into a dirt road, which goes into the mountains.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But it's.
So tell me why it is you
I'm
can't
a laid
go
back
down that
person.
road. I don't, just from the face of it, I don't understand why that's a problem.
Because the restraining order says I can't come within 100 feet from his house, and his house is right next to the road.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep. You can't get to the cul-de-sac.
I don't want no problems with anybody. That's the last thing I want.
Fly guy Jordy. I'm a pretty calm person. It's just my mullet. It's a little out of hand.
Information up.
Yeah. All these thoughtless people building houses next to roads. I have not pulled it on Google Maps yet. No. But I feel his pain now that I'm a proud owner of an e-bike, which allows me and encourages me to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
Okay, so that 100-foot restriction prevents you from going down to the end of the road. Is that what you're telling me?
Can barely get to the neighbor's house.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see what that order currently says.
If you get rid of that 100-foot restriction, you just say stay off his property.
From the protected person's residence. Okay, I understand. All right, Mr. Simmons, did you want to tell me anything else?
No, that's basically it. I never wanted to have any problems whatsoever, and it's unfortunate that it's been like this. But other than that, just having access just to go to the end of the road would be nice.
All right, let me hear from you, Mr. Huffman.
Okay, so if he didn't want to have any issues, he shouldn't be yelling at his neighbors from his property to get them to engage him. Like he'll yell at us, like if my wife or my daughter's calling the dogs, he'll mock them to try to get us to engage. I was out in the yard doing yard work and he heard my music and he'll start, like mocking it, trying to get us to engage. That happened before last year.
That's not true.
That's when he shot me in the ass with the slingshot. And now within the last month, maybe 2 months, we've heard arms fire.
Mr. Simmons, don't interrupt, okay?
Come from his property.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about the slingshot.
So now
what?
That seems as though it's not feasible, not accurate, or something he should have. And then my other neighbor that's on the other side of him walks her dog up and down the road. And when she heard him firing, she did not feel comfortable enough to pass by his driveway. So she stopped in front of my driveway, which I have on video, called her husband to come pick her up because she didn't want to walk in front of his driveway. So now it's to the point where it's gone from a slingshot. Now he has a small caliber gun.
Okay. I'm going to allow this order to be extended for another year.
He's like, I forgot about the slingshot incident.
I think it's necessary to keep the peace and for Mr. Huffman to maintain the protections he's had under this order.
Mr. Huffman, what's that in the corner leaning against your cabinet? Is that a pellet gun I see in your picture there? Say it ain't so. Let me just zoom in on that. Give me a second. That is a pellet gun. I'm going to show you guys. Hang on, hold tight. Look at this. Can you guys see this? Well, I'll show you in just a minute. 1 second. Hang on. Look at this. Right above me, right where I am, this little object right over here, this is a rifle. I believe a BB gun. Or maybe a shotgun. I don't know what it is, but it's a gun. That most clearly is a gun. I see it. Or it's a towel that looks like one. I think that's where it leans, his BB gun. It's a salt shooter. I don't know. It's a bang bang. It's a bang bang. It's a bang stick. Shoots the neighbor in the butt with a slingshot. How can you can't buy a firearm when you have a restraining order against you, right?
All right, I've extended the order, same terms and conditions as the original order until July 8th of 2026. All right.
So
and
we'll
the
be back
clerk
then.
will provide copies of that to both parties before the end of the day. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Todd's like, thanks. Ooh, he's not looking happy. Well, Judge, where does that take us?
Yes, sir. just all good to go. There's no filing necessary. Okay, the last matter I have is Brock versus Olson, and there's been no response, so the petition will be dismissed.
There we go.
5-188.
We can go now. We can go now. That was worth waiting around for, right? A slingshot to the butt. And this is not like an absurd, you'll never guess what happens. This is the craziest thing that happened in court. This is just another day. This is just another day in Tumwater, Washington. Thurston County delivers day in and day out on this. Thank you very much, Josh, for finding this for us. Great way to end the day. It's just a nice, easy day in court. Yes, the soundbite, there's nothing in the order that keeps you from talking to cats, prevents you from talking to cats. That's from the previous time those two ladies met in court. And now we got part 2. And then, of course, we get the neighbors down the road with the slingshot and all that. Good stuff. Teresa, nice, easy day in court. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Kelly Hicks just gifted a membership. Congratulations to Lynn Wilson, the recipient there. Did I miss anybody's commentary? I hate to miss it. Let's see. That is a wild day in court. OG Sean White says, I'm in the top 50 in points. Katie214, member for 17 months. Welcome to the gallery. Sue Stiff, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much. Kayla Newell, wait, have we seen her before? Because of the cats. Yes. You remember she was feeding the raccoons, and the raccoons ate one of her cats, and she kept feeding the raccoons? Yeah. Kelly Hicks gifted a membership as well. Thank you very much. Mr. John Tanner, Chucktown, thank you very much for the membership. I absolutely love it here. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And Tumwater Troy checks in saying, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Thank you. 130 MKY gifted 5 memberships. I missed that. Thank you. Thank you, MKY. Sylphedia, no wonder he was able to stab 4 people because anyone noticed he's just so dang quiet. Going back to the other one. All right, you guys, it's been a fabulous day. We're going to come back tomorrow with more trial out of Connecticut. We're going to have the defendant back on the stand, testifying his own defense. We're going to get to the juicy parts tomorrow as well. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. We will live again tomorrow morning about 8:45, 9-ish, or thereabouts. You guys have a good one. We'll see you. Bye-bye.